Welcome to Perpetual Players. I'm your GM, Christian. So, if you've never watched something of ours before, I at least recommend you go back to episode 9, the one just before this, because it's going to get a little confusing. A lot is going on, and I don't have time to recap it all. Suffice to say, we've got to save some plant people, and we don't know if the Menagerie of Fate's going to be able to do it. So, without any further ado, let's get moving.
As we come out, I imagine we've come out now.
You're in
the cage. Well, I've already dumped bodies in the water.
Yeah, you've dumped bodies in the water. Like, this happens right in front of you. As you do, as you do, Dahlia, like, jumps in. Mother of Justice, you were really active.
Yeah, the whole quiet thing didn't really go too well. We opted for loud.
She did so well, Dahlia. You should have seen her. She was like, bah, 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 and they were all dead, like that. Well, we got to have a little fun with some of them, but she's learning quick.
But they've already left?
Yes, about 6 hours ago, in fact.
Oh, yes, the children.
That rate.
Which, do Floranians bleed? No, wait, I've asked this before.
No.
Well, they're still alive, for what we know.
At this rate, maybe wise.
I'd like to already have, I think it's Keynes is in charge of navigation. I'd like to already have Keynes on it.
Well, I see. I remember this boat. This is weapons dealer's boat. Before you run off, it may be wise to prepare. There's a lot you don't know. You don't know the modifications. You don't know what this boat is. You don't have a plan. I understand you're hurt, but you probably have a good... You could probably take 6 hours... I'd say you maybe have 6 hours of your own time before you're safe, and then you only need a little bit of time to catch up to them.
Dahlia, I'm not the owner of the ship, but I have seen it in action, and it is beyond this world. It's just amazing. But we need to go.
I understand that, but there's more...
Have you found new information, Dahlia?
I haven't, which is part of the reason why I'm telling you to prepare. All I know is this boat has apparently been altered in some way to integrate spells and such. Not knowing anything about it, you could catch yourself unawares and be struck down faster than you can plan. Also,
but we can talk while we're on the way, no? I would like to celebrate.
There's no way to accumulate new information. I can't stop you. But I should at least tell you that I think there's more to this than meets the eye. And so if you go off there half-cocked, running around, you run the risk of killing your countrymen, or worse, finding some horrible surprise.
Who would know this information then, Dahlia? Is there an in that you have? I mean, your informant was already a bit off about the warehouse and them being here still.
And for all that we know, you are keeping us here when there are lives at stake.
There's Penelope, you could need more heavy weapons, you could need... I mean, weapons dealers already is already considered hot. If she tries to sail out of here, just in her boat as it is, she could get stopped by the authorities in the harbor.
Okay.
The harbor master is going to expect there's a ship, and they're going to be looking for smugglers. Weapons dealer.
Hello?
When was the last time you sailed into this harbor?
It's been a while.
Exactly. Number one. Number two, I know for a fact you'd be facing customs checks, and they're going to be very concerned with a known criminal and one that doesn't even have cargo to cover themselves. So.
Well, Dahlia, I appreciate it. Let us think about solutions now. Okay?
As I have suggested, you'd cover for the boat. Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to get stronger weapons to deal with whatever nightmare superboat they've invented. You also are not 100% sure where it's going, I assume.
I know.
Oh.
I know where it's going.
Her name's Aes, by the way. Oh yeah, you met.
They've met.
I'm aware.
Why did you just call her weapons dealer?
Because that's what she is. Anyway.
Oh, do you have bad blood? Oh. Sorry.
Anyway. If you find its heading, you still have to find the ship itself. You don't know what it looks like. You don't know its name, and you don't know anything about it.
Where do you recommend we start?
I would recommend you could start, like I said, with Penelope. You could start with finding out the ship from the harbor master. You could find out about acquiring fake cargo or something, or real cargo, doesn't matter. Or
Is Penelope not on the boat?
No.
No.
Why would she sail? She sold them.
These were her Floranians. She bought them.
She sold them.
She sold them.
No, she sold them. She already had them.
Okay.
So you need information. You're welcome to go off as you are now, but I expect things to be much harder.
Well, can you keep this boat safe while we rummage around the city?
My ladies can.
Oh, okay. What do you think, Aes? Do you reckon we find maybe
I'm going to have my
Penelope?
knowing that we have like 6 hours of spare time, with my boat being able to catch up, most likely. I'm gonna have some of my crew kind of go through the warehouse and try to see what's been used and possibly try to backtrack in any way that they can what modifications may have been used or may have been done. Is that possible?
I think so.
Okay.
So all I'm going to ask for you there is make a con roll to sort of start managing the crew. And that will decide how quickly they get that done. So out of character, actually in character. So Dahlia looks at the two of you, looks at Kaylin. Kaylin, I know you want to run, but I need you to listen to cooler heads than that. Pointing to Deacon. You need.
What did I say?
You were ready to have us have her run off and dive straight into this. We need to take this slow. So, Kaylin, I recommend you use every inch of time to the fullest. Each task should take about an hour, but also it's important to know.
Hey, me again. So I just wanted to explain real quick what you're going to be seeing. They're going to have 3 separate bars that depending on the choices they make, those bars will get little icons. If they're loud, they're going to get swords. If they're quiet, they're going to get cats. And if they're really talkative, they're going to get quills. As they make choices, those are going to be paid back later. They don't know this, so they can't really anticipate it. And that's kind of by design. I want their choices to matter. So you can follow along at home, and you'll find out what it translates to a little later in the episode. But until then, enjoy having knowledge that the players don't.
Everything I said about quiet, loud, and talkative is true. The more quiet action, the more quiet things you do, or the more things you do in a talkative fashion, will decide how effective whatever you do will be. She gestures around. You've already been quite loud. So you have a head start in that regard. But the more choices you make, the more violent you continue to be, the more you'll have to rush. If you try to be sneaky, try to be stealthy, that's another option. Or if you try to be as socially open and out there as possible, that could also work in your favor. You could even get the authorities to turn on them. Could serve as a distraction, I don't know. Or if you sneak through, try to masquerade the weapons dealer's boat as something else. All of these things are your options. But it's important that you know that going forward, we're still in a heist.
Yes. I think it may be time for me to invite Penelope for tea.
All right.
Can I accompany you?
No.
Why?
She cannot know that I've come here with anyone else, or it will seem as if I'm trying to defend something. Or myself.
Ethan, could you talk to the harbor master and try to get information about the name of the boat so we can identify it? I can't.
Well, yeah, I could. Whether or not I want to is a different story. I was hoping to get some more time alone with Kaylin, but if I understand that we need things, so I will go to the harbor man. I'll try my best. I don't imagine that I will be much of service to him or to us in that regard.
Never know. Maybe they were very rude at the dock and he's looking to vent.
What about Dahlia? Dahlia, do you think that you would have any luck talking to the harborman?
Unfortunately, I can only make so many waves directly in this city.
You can't do anything.
At the moment, no. At least in this regard. Something this tied close to the military would interfere with my sources.
You can't go get weapons or anything like that?
No, I believe it's up to you all to use your time effectively. I can...
Dahlia, do you think that maybe you could set up a meeting with me and Penelope? Let her know I'm coming in town.
That much I could do. But...
Hey, listen, Kaylin, if you think that I might be better off getting weapons and arms for us, I mean, that seems more your speed, Aes, but what was your plan on what you were doing?
My crew and I are going to try to prepare the boat the best we can. We're going to get a chief cargo to try to have a reason to be here, as well as armor the boat against what we think it's been enhanced with.
Maybe you could give me one of your men that would know what can be attached. Ladies, sorry, pardon me. Okay. Maybe you can give me one of your ladies to aid me in this, because I don't know the first thing about Fessipton ships or really you at all.
Can I send an NPC with Deacon?
Yeah, I guess we'll send... I feel like Keynes would be...
No, not Keynes.
No, Keynes needs to work on the thing.
But perhaps,
Mrs. Stokes?
Yeah.
Mrs. Stokes might be able to help.
Mrs. Stokes.
Mrs.
Is her name.
Stokes, yes. Ship's doctor, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
The ship's doctor?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So that takes care of each of your actions for the first round. You'll each have another set of actions after the fact.
Great.
So
everyone's cool with my action, right? I think that's a good action.
To the harbor guy?
No, I'm not. I'm no longer talking to the harbor guy. I'm trying to find weapons to
Oh.
get suited for the.
Okay.
Oh, I was sending Stokes with you
To talk to the
To
harbor.
talk to the harbor guy.
to talk to the harbor guy.
I don't. I mean, yeah. I don't think it would be beneficial to have me talk to a
None
harbor
of
man.
us else can do it, though.
Okay.
Is the issue.
But no. Then is my next stop going to get weapons? Then
We can work that
Maybe.
out
We'll
after.
see. We'll
You're
see
gonna-
how
'cause
this goes.
We'll
There
see,
may be
yeah.
more things that you find.
Because AS is working on seeing what they've armed their ship with. So,
Yes, I understand.
Depending on what AS finds out, determines what kind of weapons we need. So you can't be doing them at the same time. It would have to be after AS has already done step 1.
is that
'Cause we don't-
correct, Christian?
Yes.
Okay.
Because
then
we
I'll
don't
have to
know
go to
what
the
kind
harbor
of
man.
weapons we need yet. We could need
Then
magical,
doesn't
we
it
could
mean
need regular.
that? Okay. Then it means that Kaylin would have to go get the weapon. The AS would have to go get the weapons, right? Because then she would know what she needs.
Well, no, you
We
can.
have another round after this.
Yeah, there's you basically
So
have
either
two
you or whoever.
preparatory actions, and the way you do those preparatory actions will decide sort of what your advantage, where your advantages lie for the actual action
Finding the
phase.
ship.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I think you just need to get info on the ship's name and what it looks like.
Yes. No. Yeah. I understand. We'll see how good I am about that.
Have some gossip
I'm
time.
really gonna try.
You have pretty good con, and
You
we're
do.
just gonna rely on it.
I was
Okay.
like, no, you probably have better con than I do. Mine's 25.
I mean, yeah, that's fine. I am just saying that we can go. I'll do this, for the team. I'm down.
I don't really want to see Penelope right now, but I'm the only one who physically can. So
all right.
Yeah, no. I
Same.
think you should go to talk to Penelope.
So we're gonna start off with, I think. Yeah, I'm gonna do Deacon and Mrs. Stokes first.
Okay.
So, getting to the harbor master is its own kind of thing. Dahlia is able to hook you up with more passports to move around the city. So you and Mrs. Stokes kind of walk. Mrs. Stokes does not talk to you. She's like, she doesn't try to make small. It's not actually. I shouldn't say she doesn't talk to you. She does not initiate any kind of conversation. She seems to have been somebody of like class back in her day, and so she does not really move. What's the word I'm looking for? A lady does not begin a conversation. Yeah.
Mrs. Stokes, was it?
Yes.
I saw your work a couple years ago while you were in the Nistrunan Empire. And I thought what you do on the boat was amazing.
Thank you, darling. I actually, you see my work every time the boss lady gets taken away. I'm the one putting plasters on her cuts and scrapes and so on.
Oh, you know much about like healing and how to care for one another.
Yes, I'm a doctor.
Oh, that's great. I spend a lot of my time healing individuals, and I am a priest for the Way of the Inner Voice, and I just really appreciate you coming with me to help with this, because I do not think that I will be of much service.
Happy to, darling. So just to explain what she looks like, she's got like a very powerful, like Jane Lynch vibe.
Okay.
Very like short hair and just like gray and older, but kind of like tall. You sell yourself short, I'm sure, but don't worry. I think this will be enlightening for you to see the inner workings of naval politics and so on and so forth.
Plus, it's been a long time since I've had a good opportunity for some skullduggery. You approach the harbor master's. So the harbor master lives in works out of like a small office at the like main point of the harbor, and he's got a huge logbook up on the up on a counter, and this is where they log every ship coming into the harbor, where it's supposed to be staying. It's how they stop smuggling. Every ship is required to submit a manifest of what they are carrying and stuff like that. And so this has pretty much records of all of the ships that could be, and where they intend to go after this. So that if a ship goes missing, if it doesn't arrive in where it is, then they can be like, well, it left from here at this time. And so behind there is a young assistant, like a secretary. I'm going to say they are... I'm going to say feminine-looking person. She's sitting... she's just kind of scratching, also naturally in loyalist garb. Stokes looks at you, sees you're clearly not going to take the initiative. Hello, darling. I wondered if I could trouble you. I'm looking for a ship. And the woman behind... Well, okay. Can you tell me about it? No, I don't.
Well,
my companion could.
Well, I don't know much of the ship, other than the fact that it was moored at dock number...
Yeah.
I imagine there was a dock number.
Yeah, dry dock, whatever.
And that's truly all I know. I apologize. I don't know much of seafaring business.
And the girl is like, I don't know how to tell you this, but I cannot help you if you don't have any details about it. We're not going to just let you look at the books.
Do you know what ship was on that dock? About 6 hours ago?
Gonna so she looks at you. I don't like the way you're talking. So you're... Unfortunately, this is not public information I can just give out. And Stokes immediately intervenes. All right. Don't worry a bit, darling. Don't worry one bit. Apologies. I will go get the proper information and let you, and we'll be back in a little bit. Okay, goodbye. And she, like, kind of just pushes you out. All right. Well, unfortunately, neither of us... Appears we were too passive. That little girl is like an iron trap.
I tried to be as open and honest with both of you about how little I knew about this situation.
Grant.
What?
Don't worry. I have another plan. Now, it's going to be a bit complicated, but how good are you at sneaking around?
Well, I'm good at doing things that might get me in trouble.
Fantastic. So, here's what's going to happen. I'm going to return there. I'm going to go into the bathroom and start a small grease fire. At which point, I require you At which point, in the chaos, I require you to break into the office and, using the utmost stealth and speed, find all the information we can about anything to do with dock number 95, the number I've assigned it. Gather up everything you have and break out.
Mrs. Stokes, I didn't know you were cool like that.
As I said, it's been a long time since I've participated in skullduggery.
Great. Let's go.
So, when you smell smoke, run in, all right?
Okay.
So,
If this doesn't work, please do the bark and mark next. Please.
I am so for the ride right now. I really do not know. I know what's going on, but I am just sitting here enjoying this.
All right.
Stokes is the fucking best.
Stokes is such a chaos monster, and I love it.
Do you want to move to someone else now?
No, I'm going to explain the process by which she apply it.
Okay.
By which
She starts a grease fire.
she starts a grease fire in the bathroom.
Okay.
And she walks in.
Step number 1 when you're stressed in an RPG.
Start a fire.
So she walks in, and you can hear her like talking and conversing with her again. It's like, I'm so sorry. Could I use your bathroom really fast?
I have to pee.
And she walks into the bathroom, and a few minutes later you see like just black smoke coming out from like one of the windows, and then quickly followed by her jumping out of the window as she like starts swimming in the harbor. That's your cue, Deacon.
I'll just do I hear footsteps running to try to put out the fire?
I don't know.
Just go. Just go.
I'll
go.
go in the building and I'll grab the giant logbook.
Just the giant logbook? Do you try to grab
No,
anything else?
no, I
Okay, because
I wanna-
so at this point, I need you to roll dexterity to determine your speed. Oof.
Is that a lucky number?
Do you have like meditation or anything that's like calming?
I have command. I have prayer. That's pretty calming.
I'd count that as kind of calming.
Christian
Okay,
really
so
wants
what
this
am
to
I
work.
doing? What am I rolling?
So you are rolling
Christian?
right now to run in there, and this is going to decide what modifiers I put on your investigative health. This is going to decide if you get any plus or minuses as you do investigative combat to gather up logbooks. So
okay.
So roll up something.
39.
39.
Is this is against my dexterity?
Yeah.
That meets it, beats it.
Okay.
Success of
So
0.
no alterations. In that case, you have investigative combat with your full health value. I'm gonna have you fire away at that roll as you just start investigative combat rolls.
Remind me what that is.
That is a perception. Those are perception checks, and you have the pre-existing counters. So you have your counters. What is your question, dear?
Yeah, I was confused because you were saying with your full health.
Like
I'm confused on what that means.
Because of the chaos, I was fully prepared to subtract from Deacon's mental health.
Do you start with as many counters as your mental health?
No, from the dexterity roll was going to add a modifier to Deacon's mental health. You can spend because, like, if you fail by a MOF of greater than your mental health.
Yes, I remember
yes,
this, but
okay.
I'm not the best at investigative combat.
Yes, correct. You're going to roll perception. You can, to remind you, you roll perception. Everything from your dexterity, or not your dexterity, your mental health. If you fail by a MOF of more than your mental health, you either are forced to cash out immediately, or you have you can spend a counter to stay and keep rolling. Every time you succeed, you get a counter. And you also go in with your starting counters, however many you have presently.
Okay. All right. So I'll do that.
Okay.
Shall I do that now or while somebody else is...
No, do that now.
Okay.
So how many counters? So as you're,
I have 6 counters.
so I am going to, yeah. So you have six counters out the gate. And so I'm going to talk as you sort of frantically rummage around in there. Just start rolling, and tell me when you want to cash out. Actually, I'll go. I'm going to cut over to Aes while you work this out. Actually, because Aes's stuff is not that RP intensive.
Okay. Well, I already failed. So,
You fail-
and I have 5 counters.
So you fail.
Yeah, because my...
So do you?
I knew I can still roll, but I have probably more counters than I'll get.
Okay. You just want to cash
so-
out on your 5?
I think I'm just gonna cash out on the 5 and then roll. I roll the 1d4 plus the 1, right?
Yeah, your mental
damage. Okay.
Yep.
5 plus 4. 9. I got 9 counters.
Okay. So with those 9, you grab the logbook, which gives you its location. It also gives you the boat's name.
Okay.
And the boat's name is the I
don't need to know the boat's name
Well,
yet. I think it... Okay.
Okay.
You
So
want to tell me?
you grab it. You
Okay.
grab it. But actually, no, I will tell you the boat's name because this is going to be important for the second thing. You got 9,
Okay.
you said?
Yeah.
Okay. You unfortunately do not get the next. You only get. I'll give you a hint to the next step up, but not the actual thing. So you figure out the boat's name is the ISS Forsaken. And then also you determine that it is. You also find that it is designated not as a cargo ship, but as a prisoner transport ship. So whatever's going on, it's pretty known that this is transporting people. And with that, nice. You run out as the fire is starting to get there. Stokes, standing with a dripping wet jacket over her shoulder. Well, you got something. Good job.
I was just grabbing at things. I didn't really know. This book looked important.
Well,
It was big.
well done. You've
Thanks.
at least handled yourself.
I think we should get back.
I agree. People are going to be asking questions about the fire. As you're coming back, I wanted to mention really fast. Some Jellian loyalist, for lack of a better term, cops, are outside of that apartment building, across the way, asking about what the commotion was. But as as they're talking to the wheezy old man, and he just very calmly, I have not seen anything. Nothing, absolutely nothing happened. I assume it was just a gust of wind blew the thing off its hinges. And
This is what I get for being nice to NPCs.
and they're like, "Are you sure?" It's like, "Yeah, nothing. Just absolutely nothing happened today. It was a very boring day."
The book is underneath my stitcher-ion.
Yeah.
I'm holding my umbrella against my back, and I'm walking calmly.
And for the sake of expediency, you walk by. Okay.
They don't see me go into the warehouse, do they?
No. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I'll count. I'm trying to keep track of my bars to make sure I'm counting things correctly. And so yeah. Anyway,
Aes?
now gonna go back in time a little bit to Aes. So Aes, what I want you to do is we are going to be your stuff is going to be pretty fast.
Right. I already rolled my con for the ladies.
Okay, perfect. And how'd that come out?
It was that 12 from earlier.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're able to like start investigating pretty well, and you gave them advice. This boat is definitely designed to be sealed.
Sealed?
Like, you know, it's whatever they have is using a ton of like lacquer and pitch. And it seems to be designed in some way to be extra watertight. Might have something to do with the speed that it's maintaining. But for whatever it is designed to be watertight beyond imagine.
I swear to God, if this is a frickin' submarine, I'm gonna fight someone.
Did you just say the thing?
It's a fucking submarine.
I literally don't even think I can swim. Like, this is just rude. This is
I told you it was an underwater episode. We're going to fucking Atlantis, y'all.
rude.
The Scooby-Doo gang is
Oh my
going
God.
underwater.
Because the president of the deep folk really might be underwater.
He's on an island. I'll save you that.
Okay, good.
I won't,
Okay,
I won't send you to that.
I was like, is this Atlantis? Like, what's happening here?
I mean, it makes sense that they would keep the Floranians, who typically don't like water, right? All Floranians don't like water?
No, that's more of a Kalen thing.
It's more of a me thing.
Okay.
So do I need, like naval mines?
You might. That's a good thing. I think that's a good track to go on. Depth charges.
Depth charges.
So yeah, So now that you've decided what you're gonna spend your time crafting depth charges. I think.
Okay, do I have anything about, like, weapons modifications, or does it just seem like it's maybe they don't really know what to do?
So this is what I'm gonna say. Roll knowledge.
Okay.
And add 10 for having your library.
That war. Ooh. That's a lucky number! 91 is a lucky number!
91
Yes!
is a lucky number. So you are able to determine there's really two ways you could use a submarine to do violence. One is to plant bombs on stuff. The other would be to, like if you like, you just like boop 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 boop, float up, bomb, boop 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 boop, and then
Like, that's what the submarine would be
like
doing.
that would be like that, or and the much more complicated one, would be to somehow have, a rocket that
like a missile?
that you could like
a torpedo?
surface and fire. No, they have torpedo requires
hard.
like internal combustion engine, and we're just not there yet. So like, but if you had a rocket and you just like poked a little head up and just be like pew, you could do that. Those are the two ways you could fight back.
Like almost surfacing and firing forward, you mean?
Firing like in an arc, like a parabola. Or you could probably do that with a cannon now that I've said it. It's actually how the original submarines would do it, is they would just kind of float up, fire one cannon at stuff and sink down.
Okay, so how do I reinforce against that? I don't really know if that's anything but standard reinforcement for, like, explosive weaponry.
We need something that we can shoot at them.
Yes, the depth charges will be made. I'm just trying to think if there's anything I could do to reinforce the ship necessarily.
Do you have like sensors? Like, you know how like fishing boats have that little thing and it goes bing bing when like a big fish is nearby? Like they try to look for sharks and stuff. Like on Shark Week. You know?
Could I do
where
some
they-
like Fessy runes? Yeah, to kind of make
Yeah.
like radar.
I think so.
You think I can make some Fessy runes on the ship?
This,
Yeah,
my knowledge of Shark Week is really playing off right now.
I'm now
and I love that.
Your fascination of sharks from the desert.
I'm now trying to think of what actually I guess that would be more like sonar. I'm trying to think of what sonar would be in the talkative, loud, quiet axis. I think purely based on that one guy
think
from
it'd
Red
be pretty
October,
quiet.
I'm gonna count it as talkative.
What?
Cause the guy in Red October who's like they're playing Beethoven, like that guy. He like deafened the whole Pacific Fleet. The really cool radar
Yeah.
operator. I feel like that's talkative. No, because I guess
I feel like,
nah.
but I'm not using it to contact them.
Yeah.
I'm using it to
see 'em.
sense them.
Sense them. Like a
I
bat.
feel like it would
It's
be
quiet.
quiet.
Okay, we're calling it quiet. Fine. So that so you come up with that, and I think 3 things is where I'm going to call it with your hour of work.
Okay.
And Deacon comes in to see you like carving new runes on your boat. Now, this is something that I did want to mention though, because we did talk about it. I said it was the ISS Forsaken.
Yes.
This does come up. AS, what's your boat's name?
Had I ever formally named my boat?
We have
The
never
stinky boat.
formally named your boat. But, well, here's...
Stinky.
Well,
Oh, but it would have different names at different ports.
yes, because it is a smuggler's boat. But I mean, in this particular instance, what are we suddenly naming the boat?
What are we suddenly naming the boat?
Are we deciding this
Oh.
out of
Is-
character?
I just remembered something so funny. Oh my god, that's hysterical.
Is it about sharks?
No, it is not about the sharks. I have to make, in case we cut the session off, I have to write this down. I have to write this down somewhere, just to make sure that I say it.
Does it have to do with me blowing up a building?
Maybe.
I fucking knew it.
No,
I
please
hope
don't.
it is.
Not yet.
I tried
What
to talk
is
to the-
ISS a military class?
ISS stands for Island Standard Ship.
Forsaken.
How about we do the opposite of Forsaken? Forbidden.
I don't think that's the
I
opposite
think
of
that's the opposite
Forsaken.
of. I don't.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I'm pretty sure like forgiven or. Let's see. Well, okay. So Antonym.com said forsake, so that's for sure not right.
Well, because I don't think there is one to like welcome in, I guess.
I think we just have to
Yeah.
do ISS Forbidden for the bit now.
ISS Happy Fun Time.
ISS.
ISS Racism Sucks.
Ooh, we're going.
ISS These Nuts.
I was so hoping you were gonna say that. The second you started speaking, I was like, she's gonna say these nuts, and it's gonna be awesome. I knew it.
ISS
I-
Menagerie.
I will let you think about this.
Okay, thank you.
As
Divorce.
everyone is working frantically in this dry dock to like make these retrofits. Kaylin, you're walking over to Penelope's place. She lives in like sort of an expensive townhome. And as you're walking, little girl.
Is Dahlia with me or
no,
Okay.
little girl appears beside you,
So,
and she just looks up at you.
and then I'm just gonna go,
She claps the bear's hands.
Get the bear. Get the bear.
the little girl likes violence.
She likes it.
Get truffles.
Oh, I have to go get truffles now.
Get truffles, get
You're
truffles,
supposed to
get
have
truffles.
him. You were supposed to always
This is
have
part of
him
your
on
prep.
hand. Huh?
As a DM, this is part of your job.
It really is. He's like kind of caught slacking all the fucking time.
After this, I'm having wine and pretzels. Like, after we finish this
Good.
this session, we're having wine and pretzels.
Yay!
Pretzels?
I think we
Soft pretzels
no,
or hard?
like the pretzel bits. I think we still have a couple
That's
of those left.
terrible. Remember that wine crate that we had a year ago we got another one of those.
Nice.
I
Just
came today.
love wine crates. Anyway, so yeah, she like claps the bear's hands.
I'm just like, I point at Penelope's house and be like,
Just a
okay, just a little shrug.
yeah, just a bear shrug.
Okay. I'm just gonna hold out a little fist bump. Sick. I love this little kid so much. I love her.
This is wild.
I love how my relationship with her is so opposite from yours and your goat.
It's definitely opposite.
She,
So good.
as you reach Dahlia's townhouse, she like, which is, well, I say townhouse, but it's like a big, just wooden block, like just like chilling there.
I'm gonna produce like a bouquet. Is that possible? It's like a gift. I already produced me berries.
Yeah, I think that's pretty possible.
Like because it wouldn't hurt me if I grew it as like hair and then I
Yeah.
just cut my hair.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's fair. I'll allow
Or
it.
if it was like my clothes, it's like cutting off my sleeve.
I'll allow it for flavor.
Flavor.
So, I assume you knock on the door, or
Oh yeah.
a footman opens it. He's wearing, again, like the furs, the tattoos, and stuff like that. Madam Caitlin, your arrival was foretold in the letter. Please do come in. I do believe Madam Penelope is waiting for you in the sitting room.
Thank you. Could you put these in water for her?
Yes, absolutely. And
Thank you.
he takes it. But as he's walking, she has like a tiger skin rug, and he trips on the tiger skin rug just
Good.
once.
If absolutely anybody watching gets that reference, you get a cookie.
What did you say?
Trips on the tiger skin rug?
He
Oh,
trips on
I
the head.
love that video.
He trips on the head of the tiger skin rug. That's as you
Merry Christmas.
I get no cookie.
you get no cookie.
I get
Cookies here are bad. We've established.
As he walks
They're
in,
delicious, actually.
clutching the flowers, emissary Kaylin Ayla is mad, and Penelope cuts him off. Ah, hello, Kaylin. It's a pleasure to see you again.
Yes.
she-
So sorry for short notice.
She is wearing like the finest finery, and she is covered in these red tattoos. In the loyal, like,
She deep in it.
yeah, she is deep folk in it.
Yeah.
And so it's such a pleasure to see you again.
Yes. As well, it's been too long, really.
Indeed. What do I owe the pleasure?
Well, I've been kind of on this grand adventure, as you know. And I happened to be passing through the area, and I thought, I might as well visit a friend. You know, what is life without friends and without good company?
Indeed. And she sits down and snaps her fingers. Browns? Brandy, please. Yes?
Tea for me, if I could.
A tea and a brandy for Sir Kaelin. Thank you. And he sits down, or she sits down. So you must tell me of all your adventures.
Oh, it's been wonderful, really. I've just kind of been trying to immerse myself into the different cultures of everywhere as a sort of passive energy, just kind of surveying, and I tell you, it's been wonderful. There's so many complicated relationships with the people on Caru, and it's a little more than my mind is used to, but it's interesting all the same.
I can understand how that would be overwhelming. Dealing with relationships can be quite complicated. It takes an acute mind to be able to handle the world of politics and relationships. I would know.
Yes. How have you been? I haven't heard from you in a while.
Oh, I've been great.
You look fantastic.
Thank you. I recently moved to the capital after some Shepherd's Aegis troops were armed, approached and were armed to the teeth, and they claimed my entire plantation, which was most rude.
Wow.
But it's only been a few days since since that happened. It's only been a few weeks since that happened. So, but I've been enjoying myself, truly. It's been very pleasurable, relaxing.
Yes. And how have my people been helping with your protection? I know you were quite worried about that the last we spoke. I hope that they've been nothing but helpful.
Well, until the armed peasants came and attacked, they were absolutely fantastic. They were amazing peacekeepers and so on. Obviously, they were over what are 12 skilled soldiers against a small army of sweaty, dirty people with cannons and guns and such. But otherwise, they were fantastic.
And are they okay? Or are they seeking medical help after this difficult battle?
We got some healthy. No, in fact, actually, I sold the contract.
Oh. Pardon me. I again, enlighten me if politics in this area are a bit different than what I'm used to, but I would have loved to be informed about this, as they are very dear to me, and I wish to know about their whereabouts.
They are perfectly fine. I handed them off to I handed them off to a general, and I spoke to their leader, the chief amongst them, Petras. He said that they were perfectly agreeable they were perfectly amenable to the idea. So I sent them to the army camp when we went here, and I used the funds to recoup my losses from the burned plantation.
Yes.
What I would just say, if at any point she says something that you don't trust, you are free to roll connection or to figure out what she means.
I wanna roll specifically about when she mentions like Petras and stuff, and how agreeable I feel my people were in all of this, because I don't believe that for a goddamn second.
Okay, well,
all right.
33, and that's a 33 under or 33 over?
I didn't lose my counters at all,
no.
Right? Because I didn't deal any damage besides breaking the door.
Yeah.
I didn't
No. So that's
a moss.
That's a moss.
General.
Okay, so so big success. Yeah, as far as you can tell, Petrus agreed to the contract. Like she said, yeah.
Oh.
Sorry, she's at the very least, yeah. She Petrus agreed when she said, like, would you like? Can I sell your contract?
And Petrus is the chief of.
He's the leader of their little unit that you sold, like their little mercenary band.
Of the Floranians.
Yeah. Well, of that 12 Floranians, yeah.
Yeah,
that subfamily.
Petrus agreed.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And was that a con?
Yeah, that was a contract.
Yes. Yeah. Okay, I'm making sure I'm adding the correct amount of.
Yeah, it was perfectly valid, perfectly legal and agreed upon by all parties.
Yes. Fantastic. Is there a way that I can still be in contact with them, or, based on who you sold them to, and that way I can still be able to send them letters from home from their loved ones and kind of keep their spirits up,
I sold originally I sold them to a military commander, another Jellian. Her name was Claudia D. Hoff. I sold the contract to her, and that was the last I heard. Unfortunately,
I'm gonna roll for that. Okay.
Not exactly. She doesn't sound that's a half truth.
I was specifically rolling for that's the last I've heard of them. Still half truth?
That's still classed as a half truth.
Okay.
But there's something she's omitting here. Yeah, I'm.
Is there this Claudia? She a friend of sorts that maybe from my peace of mind you could ask her about to get me some more information. I really do view these people as family, and I trust you wholeheartedly that you would do what's best for me as I have for you, and just to kind of alleviate, and hopefully I can maybe send in some more of my people to assist.
Unfortunately, I believe she is departing. She has already left. She was part of a diplomatic attaché mission to travel to the home isles of the deep folk.
Oh, so that is probably where she is taking them to be traded then.
I would assume so. That would make sense. But I think they'll have a good life. They might even possibly get to meet the Hathor.
Meet who was that?
I would assume they would meet the head of all of the deep folk. Plus Claudia is deployed under General Odd, so they are certainly rubbing elbows with the famous people.
Oh wow, that's big news. That's quite good actually. Then, great. Well, fantastic. Is that the kind of place that I would have permit? To go to? Or?
That would be something you would have to talk it over with the diplomats and all that stuff.
Yeah.
They have.
Oh, I wish I was here.
The deep folk are very protective of their home islands. Very few Kokutin yet to manage to go there on their own.
Fair. Sorry, I'm thinking of a thing to do.
Huh?
What room are we in right now?
They're in a sitting room.
Are we in an office?
You're in
sitting room?
Yeah.
Okay. Would I know if she had any kind of paperwork with information or any helpful info in this house per se?
She almost certainly has an office somewhere.
And I only saw the one guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I have two options that I'm thinking of, and I'm trying to think of which is better.
Is one start a grease fire in the bathroom?
No,
Or her
no.
We
office?
can't start another grease fire.
No,
We
it
could.
was not-
We could.
We
You
could.
could-
We very well could.
Always set
but
another grease fire.
I know, but I don't want to.
We very well could. My two things were either. Oh, there's a baby behind you. My two things were either go to the restroom and find it.
Why are all of these solutions going to the restroom?
Yes.
That cannot
Or-
be our answer for everything.
It is. Or I can have her go grab me something, and in that time, put something in her drink to make her go sleepy time. And then go.
The
Find it
the
myself.
choice is yours and yours alone.
I know. I know so badly.
One guarantees, like, if you go to the bathroom, you can make those decisions yourself. If you send her to go get you something, you then have to come up with a reason to go have her go get something.
Exactly.
I say poison.
It's almost
out.
like one of these is quiet and the other one is talkative.
Wait, what? I don't understand.
It would be like talkative
Well,
to persuade her
Oh, to go get
to
something.
go get something. Yeah.
But it'd be quiet to poison her.
Yeah, but it's like talkative is the initiatory action, but I don't have to justify myself to you. Wait a minute.
I know. I know.
This is your game. We're just trying to find a way to break it.
And then, were there any guards in the house that I saw? No, just the one guy, right?
Yeah. She feels very safe right now.
That's good.
Whatever happened to just being friends and taking her for words value? And
I
leaving
want
now.
her. I want her information.
Yeah.
It seems like she's been pretty fucking forthcoming with her information.
She's holding back something.
And I mean, people hold back. You don't know what her situation is. She might
So,
be.
that guy was at the front door,
Yeah.
and he stayed at the front
Well,
door.
now he's currently coming back clattering with a tray full
With
of
the dishes.
of brandy and tea.
I'm gonna excuse myself to the restroom and try to stop him in the hallway
Okay.
and put it in then.
Okay. Interesting.
I'm gonna
I
try
need
to be stealthy
I need
about
a
it.
cog roll, and then I need a dex roll to. I need a cog roll to generate the to like see if you
Plant
have
or something?
Yeah, like to see if you have the plant on hand.
I'm trying to like think of off the top of my head like a plant that would put her to make her groggy and off-putting enough. Kind of like
Chamomile?
a good sleepy time. Yeah, but I mean like a stronger version of chamomile. My herbal knowledge is hurting
What,
me.
mean, like
what plant has melatonin?
Like a chloroform, but not chloroform. You know what I mean? Like a roofie. Like I want to roofie this girl. But not. I don't have a pill. You
My-
know?
Aloe
My
vera,
test
lavender.
peyote.
I am going to say outright. Actually, so I'm going to be honest. I think generating something to fully make someone go to sleep stretches the bounds of flavor.
Okay.
I think-
Well, then what if it's just something to make her trip? What if I do like an ample amount of mugwort?
No, because so here's the deal.
Damn.
Is I've allowed you to do stuff that does not touch
I know.
the poisons table, like the drugs table. Anything that you want to achieve here absolutely is on the drugs table. And so
Okay.
I think I'm not going to let you
Okay, so
go
no
there.
drugs.
No drugs. I think your best the two options really are trick her into giving you something in that run or just sneak away and do it. It is your and it is your choice. It's just both has a risk.
Yeah. Okay. As he comes in with the tray, I would like to try to, like, kind of unknowingly get up at the same time. like shift in it, and so I want to spill things on me to give me an excuse to go to the restroom.
Okay. Give me a dexterity roll.
Okay. I hate that that's not a lucky number. Can I... I'm trying to think of what I can use. Not... acrobatics? Networking?
No.
Empathy? I don't know.
Why does she have to roll to be bad at something?
To do it convincingly.
Okay, then I'm just gonna get up to excuse myself to go to the restroom.
Okay, that's fine. I will allow
I'm
it.
just gonna get up. I'd be like, excuse me, I don't really want to explain how.
Actually, here because we went so far as to make you roll. Here's what I'm gonna say happen. You get up,
okay,
bump into him, and just sort of like big dick your way into being like, I have to go to the bathroom now, and just
start out.
Book it over.
That was horrible. That was the worst thing that could have happened.
I know.
And you just bolt into the bathroom. I feel like I want to give you a point.
Do I lose my counters when I lose a roll?
No, you lose counters equal to the bonus of the roll you're making.
Okay, so I would lose it for Dex? Okay, so I'm down 4. Okay. All right.
So you're now.
Hallway. How many
Dex
doors
is so
are there?
high.
You're now in the. You're now running towards the bathroom.
The door. How does it close?
Well, here's the thing. What was your MOF on that?
I had 15 counters, 69. That's 50. Oh wait. Hold on. 15 minus 69. 59. That's 50.
Would be 54.
54. That's a MOF.
8.
Okay, so you don't lose the counters you had. Congratulations.
Oh, okay, sick.
So in that case, you are going to lose 1 health from your
that is fine.
From your mental health.
Okay.
It's the same deal I gave to Deacon. You are now kind of on the clock.
Okay. How does that door close?
Like a door.
Like just a regular... Is there a chair that I could put under the handle to block the door from being opened?
Yes. So are you running into her office or are you running into the bathroom?
Oh, I'm going to her office.
Okay. So
I just want to stop her from...
Yeah, I have...
coming out if she even tries.
I have a strength check on that I have for the chair that will go. So...
Determine if it works.
Yeah.
Can I do it quiet enough to where they don't know that I'm doing it? Or no?
Like I said, you have a certain time limit, and you're now in the office to start investigating. So
I'm sprinting.
Dive into investigative combat.
Are there any... investigative... So I roll, right? I have 15 counters. Can I just use them?
You just like to cash out?
Let me roll once. Okay.
That's a success.
I have 16 counters. I'm going to roll until I fail, and then I'm done. Okay.
Okay,
that's a fail.
That's a fail?
Alright. So what, 15?
Well, you can cash out with your
16.
16 right now, or you can...
I'm cashing out with my 16. So it's 16 plus what?
16 plus you should have a mental damage die.
The mental dam. Okay, so it's 3 plus 1d4. So it's 19 plus 1d4.
Mm-hmm.
13. No, 23.
23.
And then now I lose them, right?
Now all your counters are wiped.
Yes. Okay.
I am so glad somebody crossed the big threshold. So,
Was I 1 away from the threshold?
Maybe.
Yeah, it was.
I'm glad I rolled.
I can't, Christian, I have to roll investigative combat once, right? So I couldn't have just chosen my 6 counters and rolled my 1d4.
Correct.
I could have.
No, you couldn't have done that.
Okay.
You have to roll.
So you are frantically ripping through stuff, you find bills of sale, you find the contract transfer, but you also find a ton of correspondence, not just between Claudia, who seems to have been more of a go-between, but you also find correspondence between Penelope and General Odd, correspondence between Penelope and General Odd. They were the first two to make contact. Odd had an interest in tracking down a high-value target, and he wanted
What does that
to
mean?
his words. He wanted to borrow the. He wanted to just borrow the Floranian troops to acquire the high-value target. And then...
So why would they cut off their fucking hands?
Well, that's what you get with the super high, is a conversation between Claudia and Penelope, where Penelope suggests, why don't you keep the Floranians and give me extra money? You take them and give them and sell them for clout or whatever you need. Don't let Odd or make it seem like they mutinied and they're prisoners.
Who said that?
It was
Claudia told Penny to say that.
Penelope came up with the idea of, why don't you just trick the Floranians? Claudia had the idea, make it look like a mutiny so that Odd would be on board.
Odd wanted to use them for something else entirely.
Yeah, Odd has a high-value target. Odd has a high-value target that he needs, and Claudia and Penelope had the idea, what if we trick the Floranians, because Odd wasn't going to go for that idea.
What does she have to gain by tricking General Odd? More money?
She gains by doing that, she gains she was making a deal with Claudia so that Claudia would take more money and give that to, like, give the sale, so to speak, to our very recently depossessed Penelope.
So she wanted
Are
money.
you following this, Cat?
No. Not even a little. So okay.
I'm also trying to understand.
I don't
we can
understand
we
why
can
they-
reword this later. All I want to do, now that I'm still under a time constraint, is take the papers, stuff them in my stuff them in my backpack.
Oh, I
Go
should mention,
back.
there is one other thing atop
Oh, okay,
there.
keep going.
There, in the original correspondence with Odd, there is a line of incomprehensible letters next to them. It is... God. I keep even doing this.
Yes.
And where were the letters
They're
again?
at the bottom of it.
There's a line.
There's a
words.
of incomprehensible letters. In the
Are you going to give us them?
the very yes, I'm going to give you them. The very first one, when they're discussing the high value target. BMZOV YD IVHPIV.
Okay. BMZOU. Wait. Say that again.
BMZOV YD IVHPIV.
Okay.
Is this
Okay.
an acronym?
I don't know.
It all that is the context it occurs is I believe you could do a great deal to assisting us in acquiring code phrase with your with the help of your bodyguards.
And this is the letter that Penny wrote to General Odd.
This is the letter that Odd wrote.
wrote to
Odd
Penelope.
reached out to Penny first.
Okay. I'm gonna stuff everything because I don't fully understand it. I'm gonna stuff everything in my bag. I'm gonna run out into the hallway. Try to get the chair out of the door.
Mm-hmm.
Wait,
did you lock her in the sitting room?
No, she locked herself.
Okay, you
in
locked
the
yourself in
office.
the other room. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I thought the way that was phrased for a second. You're fine.
No. Okay, so then I'm gonna.
So as you do, there is Penelope who was just about to knock on the door.
On the office?
On the office door because she followed you out there.
Well, why did she do that?
Because she acted like a freak.
Okay.
Caitlin.
Can I? Okay. Say what
Actually, wait. Sorry. Are you all
Yeah,
right?
sure.
You just ran off. That was very strange. 1 second, I have to.
Set fire to the building.
You were embarrassed.
I'm gonna
Nervous
just. Can I just pretend and be like and just try to seem like I'm out of it and be like something has come over me. I think I'm gonna throw up. Can I make myself throw up on this floor and then leave?
Roll endurance.
Wow,
Okay.
she's purging. She's torturing. Who is this?
What did that come out?
I want to make it seem like I just like ran out of the room to vomit.
Yeah.
And I just kind of ran into the first room I saw. You know?
You just you vomit up like this slurry of like plant goo of like partially
Pesto.
digested meat. Yeah, basically a meaty pesto.
Ew. Ew.
On her. Oh,
Sorry, I'm not feeling well. I'm sorry. I don't know if it was the boat that got me here. I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. I'm just
I know
gonna
Kat
run
is
out.
shivering right now.
I'm running out.
Kat hates this.
vomit on the war criminal.
So
That's
does
fine.
Christian.
No, that's fire. I support vomiting on the war criminal. And so you return to.
I run.
You return to the dry dock, having
Yes.
spent 3 hours.
Yes.
That was 3 hours.
Well, the collective. That was. Each thing took that was the whole thing took about 3
but
hours.
Kaylin didn't just take.
No,
3 hours.
Kaylin wasn't alone 3 hours. Like, there's getting there, getting back, and all that shit.
Yeah.
Collectively, everything you did was 3 hours. You just get back a little after Deacon does.
I got the manifesto. I also set fire to a building. I didn't actually set fire to the building. It was actually your little Miss Stokes. She's pretty fucking sickening. I really like her.
She's awesome.
I also, oh, Kaylin, you're back.
Yes. She's still like she doesn't throw up, so that was a lot for her.
Oh my God, you're throwing up too? You're just like me.
Yeah. Sorry. That was so much. Today's been a lot, and I just. Okay.
I'm growing to like
I'm just
you
gonna
a lot.
I'm just gonna start taking the papers out of my bag and handing them to AS because I'm sure AS can decode the shit
Yeah,
stuff
Ace, take this too. I don't
better
want it.
than me.
And I just
just
drop
like-
it all on the ground and sit down and I go,
Okay, so AS, I'm gonna offer.
Kaylin's gonna have a breakdown.
Obviously, I've handed you some type of encoded thing, but I did not give you a key to that.
yes.
Naturally,
I'm assuming it's a shift cipher and I'm very excited.
pretty much the deal is you either can try to brute force it yourself or you can make cog rolls to try to figure it out.
I'll make
Oh,
one
we're still
cog roll.
We're
see
trying
how
to
we
crack
do.
this code right now.
Well, then we have a week to think about it. Yes! Sorry.
That was good. I don't know if that read on. I hope that shows up in your audio because Discord suppressed it.
Oh, okay.
You managed to.
Oh, yeah, it's there. It's loud.
You managed to determine, looking at it or looking at the letter and stuff like that, and you track based on like the capital letters and stuff like that, and what's what and what's where. The cipher involves the number 5.
Done. Easy. I got this.
Is this? I honestly am already like, there's no way that I will know what I don't even know what a cipher is. I'm just writing down what you say. I'm not going to be of any help.
AS gets a little distracted and goes, wait, so Claudia cut off their hands to make them seem like prisoners?
If I could,
I hand you those papers back. I was like,
Dahlia's there.
Let Dahlia read.
If I can explain what they were doing, they clearly, the cutting off the hands thing was something they did to make them, to guarantee that there was no way they could fight back, so that they could present them as trophies. They apparently staged a mutiny earlier in the time.
Penny and Claudia.
Claudia specifically staged the mutiny. Penelope had the idea to sell them to Claudia. Yes, they both did it, but specifically Claudia was the one who staged the mutiny after they acquired the high-value target.
Oh, they already have the target.
Yes.
I thought that's what they were on their way to go get.
No.
With the Floranians.
No, they used the Floranians already to get the high-value target. Then, at the moment of triumph, they staged a mutiny so that it looks like the Floranians rebelled. They captured them to catch some extra, so that Claudia can sell them for her own gain.
So they got the high value target?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
That was a while ago. Now because they got the high value target,
now
they
they're like,
staged a mutiny, cut off their thing, and they're just gonna sell them because they're useless.
Because they already have the target now.
Because they already have the target. Right? I'm following this.
Yep.
Okay.
They're specifically
the
going.
Prisoner transport has the high value target on it. Who is Greta?
Who is who?
Greta.
It's Greta.
Dina Muna.
It's Greta.
Yeah.
Greta Dina Muna.
Oh, the crazy lady?
The crazy lady.
And
how did you get that from that? Where's the G? Wait, I'm confused.
You now have 3 hours with your time limit left on the city. As you are, before you have to set off and chase after the ship itself. I believe it was the ISS Forsaken. Thank you. Yeah, so chasing after the ISS Forsaken. And
did you ever find out a name for our boat, AS?
No, I hadn't. But I did have several thoughts. So one, the issue is, and I talked about this last time, her boat is known by different names at different ports across Karu.
Okay.
And I was going to try to rush one, but we already have the book. They couldn't check it anyway. You took the whole log.
Yeah.
And set it on fire. So actually...
And set the building on fire. I'm not sure they'd be worried about it.
That is something that we're going to talk to. So now, Dahlia has gathered the three of you all together in the warehouse, or the dry dock. I guess it's technically a wet dock at this time, as it is fully flooded, but she takes you all in. You've done well with gathering all that you need, all that you have. This is critical information that you've acquired about Greta. She is not to be trifled with, not one bit. So well done. Unfortunately, this is... actually, I would say it might be more fortunately than anything. The behavior of Mr. Deacon and Miss Stokes has been quite fortuitous for us, in fact, because with the harbor master's shed intact, we no longer need to find you cover.
the ships have no communication and no way to interact with the harbor master, so that it is fully possible that we may be able to slip out in the chaos. Well, you may be able to slip out in the chaos. So really,
Yes.
all that needs to be left over is acquiring the materials for Aes's weapons. I believe she called them depth charges.
Yes.
If she is able to acquire those materials, you may be able to set out earlier than you originally planned. Now, I would also say it may be prudent to do some research, but that is your prerogative for the three of you, into who exactly, or what exactly they may be trying to do with the Floranians beyond just selling them or whatever. But that is your prerogative and your choice. Whatever you so desire to do, I defer to you.
Dahlia, are you coming with us on this endeavor? To
No.
the ISS Forsaken?
No, I will not be. That would be damaging to my cover here in the city. Being able to operate as freely as I do, considering my personal line of work, is more complicated than the needs, are more complicated, and a very high effort endeavor to maintain. So I could not risk my personal cover here in the center of deep folk operations.
Kaylin, I'd like to defer to you, if you don't mind. How deadly would you like this mission to be?
I just want my people.
That is it? Nothing else?
Speaking of your people, Kaylin, would it be prudent to get them involved at all in this?
I think it could be possible. They have been weakened, though.
No, not the people we're saving. I mean,
Oh.
letting other Floranians know of this.
Well, it may take them too long to get here, is the issue.
Well, it's more so you seem very upset about the entire endeavor, and this was through a proper arrangement that
Yes.
you, as an ambassador, undertook. So my question is, if your people, I don't know how large your group of people view themselves to be, but whether or not they would want to know and be able to take their own retribution into these matters.
Dahlia, before Kaylin can say anything, Dahlia blurts out, "That would escalate the war. Asking for the involvement of the Floranians would could potentially open up an entirely new front in the war against the deep folk. It would bring another set of armies possibly into Gelian soil as well as deep folk lands."
Excuse me, Dahlia. Pardon my interruption, but the Floranians are plenty involved already. If they didn't think that stealing their people was enough to get them involved, then they have different problems to worry about.
I don't disagree.
Proposing-
I'm more saying that it may. I was telling to Kaylin that it may be important to her culture to know, and that's all I was asking.
If this
I
is
agree.
found out, this would escalate the entire confrontation. They would. I did not have the privilege of being alive during the invasion, but the way they reacted was they gave no quarter. That is a whole. You would be unleashing, for lack of a better term, green hell upon.
I don't disagree. I don't think that you're
I-
wrong, Dahlia.
I would just like. Unfortunately, I am on Dahlia's side with this. My people, while they are my people and of the same kind as me, They do not all share the same peaceful mindset anymore.
Understood.
And I don't wish to perpetuate the violent stigma and reputation that my people have, and I think that's why they were probably pulled into this mess to begin with.
I admire your pragmatic outlook, Kaylin. But
They can
If
know
it
once
means-
it's dealt with. And I will personally deal with it when I have time to word it correctly and when I am not thinking on my feet. Or the lack thereof feet.
Thank you, Caitlin. Could I speak to you privately before you begin your next phase of operations?
Yes.
Dahlia takes Kaylin up into that office space. If people want to listen, they can roll perception checks, but otherwise Dahlia tries to take her low.
I'll look to AS and I'll say, do you mind if I take you aside, AS, as well?
Oh, I was gonna be nosy, but that's fine. Probably for the best. She doesn't like me.
Kaylin seems rather in her feelings about this. Might be best to give her some time with an old friend.
Absolutely. Of course, I wasn't gonna interrupt. I was just hoping to overhear.
So Dahlia goes up into the space. Kaylin, this is a delicate matter to discuss, but when you attack that boat, or submarine, or whatever it's called, I need you to be able to ensure that General Odd survives. Survives. General Odd is the most ardent voice for peace of anyone involved in the deep folk hierarchy. His political clout and his weight could, at the very least, stabilize things. Now, you know me. You know everything that I stand for. I don't like the deep folk. I believe they are violent and cruel, but at the same time, the civil war is bleeding my people dry. And if he is willing to negotiate with rebels and find some sort of equitable solution beyond just killing us all, then he is the best hope for my people's survival. And so, based on those letters that you have shown us, I don't believe that Odd is responsible for these kidnappings. And so, I need you to ensure that he survives, because if he dies, you will just be ensuring the status quo. And I know that benefits weapons dealer, and I know whatever the hell is going on with your other one. They seem to be creatures of violence, but I know you, and you are a creature of non-violence. And so in the interest of peace, if you could find a way to ensure that Odd survives, and if you wish to communicate that to them, that is your right, but I wanted to go to you first, so that things were made clear.
I understand. And I will do what I can. I will not make a friend or an ally of this man in any way.
I do not
But I can spare his life.
I do not expect you to. I do not expect you to treat him with any kind of respect or dignity or anything befitting anything more than an enemy combatant, but please, he needs to live, because he is the only voice in the room right now that is asking for peace. And I sincerely hope he is heard.
Would you like me just to drop him back here, if possible?
If in an ideal world you would be able to retrieve your countrymen and take them onto weapons dealer's ship, and let him continue on to the island.
Okay.
Or alternatively, if he's captured and taken prisoner or whatever, but then negotiated in a release, If that brings you pleasure, then that is also your right. But as long as he lives, then peace has a chance.
I understand.
Dahlia takes your hand and just looks up at you, just big brown eyes. You have been so good to me, Caitlin. You have been good to the people, to this entire continent, and to my people most of all. I trust you in this. And she is about to say something else, and then just says, "Now go. You have you should go. You have other things to prepare. I will be here. I will be here until you leave."
Yes. And you kind of, if anyone cared to look, all of the spines that were out of Kaylin's body have now gone down and softened into light rose petals.
Aww. Dahlia smiles as she lets you leave first. Cutting over to Deacon and Aes.
What would you like?
Do you really believe that this will help your reputation, Aes?
What?
This is a distinct act of violence, and which I am indifferent to, but you realize you already don't have the best relationship with these people. You're willing to risk worsening it and putting
I only have a positive relationship with Jellian people. Well, besides Dahlia. But
who's to say that General Odd doesn't come for your head? What do you expect me to do?
Whatever you need to do. The goal is to get Galen's people, and that's all we're trying to do here. I'm not trying to repair my relationship with the Deep Folk. I now know what I've done and why they hate me, and it's not something that I expect them to take back. I got rid of a relative, a great leader of their people, without knowing it. And that's on me, and that's something that I've said, and I don't expect them to understand or appreciate. I mean, I've done a crime.
But you understand the significance of making an already enemy an even bigger one, correct?
Yes. But with the way we have this prepared, I'm not expecting many people to leave. I don't expect many people to be able to tell our story after this, besides the Floranian people we're protecting. I don't think many Deep Folk will make it out of this. If they're in a watercraft that goes under the sea, and we're going to attack them under there, I'm still not even sure how we're going to get the Floranians out. I don't know. I'm not familiar with what they're planning or what the Deep Folk have done here. But I know how to detect them, and I know how to hit them, and that's about it right now.
Alright.
What do you... Did you have something you wanted me to say?
Well, I think with the past months that we've been meeting with one another, it's led me to think that maybe my prior distaste towards you led me to not think about the consequences of my actions before they happen. I made enemies before I made acquaintances. And I am just clarifying that you won't make the same mistake.
No, I don't believe so. I've always taken our feelings into account when I make my decisions, but I haven't necessarily, as long as I know what they are, I've never quite known what you're feeling besides disdain, so I've never had to question your motivation. Kaylin often wants peace, but with what's happening and the torture that the two of you did, I'm a little confused.
Well,
but
I did. Excuse me. Did you want to finish?
No. Go ahead.
I am growing closer to each of you individually, and I did enjoy what I saw in Kaylin, finding vengeance for the wrong that was done to her people. And she went about it the right way. And I'm not saying that I am the moral compass of this. That is not what I'm saying. Far from it. But I think it might be good that Kaylin chooses to act and chooses to involve herself in these matters in a more aggressive way.
I don't disagree, is what I'll say, but it's whatever she chooses. I just thought that many of our decisions were aligned previously, and I just can't really see a world where I would have done what she did.
What, torture them?
Yes.
You have done evil things, Aes. Why do you stray away from death and torture?
It's at this point that you hear Kaylin start walking down the stairs out of the office.
I'm not sure I know what you mean.
It's just a thought I've been having. But we should get ready and prepared for attacking ISS Forsaken.
Agreed. And I looked
Kaylin.
at Aelin.
I've just gotten there.
Hey guys,
What
we
did
talking
Dahlia
about
want?
morality?
Hey guys, what's that? So, Aes, what do we need to do to prepare the ship?
The ship, for the most part, is prepared. I have ways to detect their craft if it is indeed underwater, like you suggested, and I believe to be true. We have to get materials in order to make depth charges, which they're theoretically bombs that sink, but they should just do enough to bring everyone to the surface, most likely, unless they are very hesitant to do so, and then I suppose they could do real damage. But that's an as-needed basis.
Aes and Kaylin, do you think it might be beneficial that we have somebody intercept them? Somebody try to get inside. I had an idea. I've never done this before, but I think I can try growing gills, and maybe I can try altering the state of my body to breathe underwater. That way I could swim to the submarine in its state if we try to immobilize it, and I could get inside and try to cause ruckus or to get inside and retrieve more information. Do you think this might be beneficial?
Can I make any kind of roll to see if I believe this to also be true?
I would say if you hit a knowledge roll -10 is, you could sort of work out the magical theory behind it.
Okay, I'm gonna do it.
Oh.
No.
Oh no.
I'd say you could probably kick it with.
It's what, Fessy?
No, I'm gonna say no. You couldn't kick it because this is a biology question, which notably you do not believe in. I know.
Oh, I was gonna
do not
take
believe in
biology too.
biology.
Fuck.
You were trying to convince me to take biology so that
Oh,
you could
yeah,
take
that's
2
right.
years in biology.
And look where we are now. So yeah, Christian, if you'll allow me, I'll jump in the water. I'll strip down.
Are you doing this right now? So you're gonna have to spend the remaining couple hours with Gills, or do you perhaps?
If there's a way, can I just like test and see if I can do it?
Well, what I was going to say is, if you consider this if you want to take this as your action for the couple hour block, we could say that you spend some time sort of like, I don't know, I'm going to say dissecting a fish or something, and sort of like really learning how to understand like the principles that gills operate under. If you wanted to do that and just take that, I would be willing to award you a temporary specialty die that you could add to your roll. That you could add
D10?
to. It would depend on how Grant does
well
in their meditation. But in theory, if they did well enough, they could earn up to a D4 and be able to use that in their form and energy.
Do we have
Shadow?
Is Shadow Girl here?
No. Oh, yeah, she is.
Shadow
She
Girl.
is.
Yeah,
She is here.
Boat.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'll spend the hour dissecting a fish in a ritualistic way, and I'll just tag Shadow Girl along with me so she can watch.
You want Sweetie to watch?
Yeah.
Your weird fetishistic treatment of the young throughout this.
It's not fetishization. I wanna hang out with Sweetie.
You said, watch me dissect this.
If she wants to, completely
Yeah,
consensual.
you can't force her to do anything.
I'll ask her. I'll ask her if you want me to RP that.
Yeah, sure. She's currently working on scratching Aes's runes into the side, like on the side in like a bosun's chair, and you just poke your head out over the top.
Sweetie,
Yes?
do you like fish? Do you know what a fish is?
I do. What?
Do you want to see something interesting? Do you like learning things?
I mean,
It's a little spooky.
I gotta do this, otherwise Keynes is gonna be mad at me. And then from another bosun's chair, Keynes just goes, "You're doing a lot of talking. What are you doing, girl?" And she's like, "Sorry, Miss Keynes, didn't mean to."
Be nice to Sweetie Keynes.
I'll be nice to who.
Fuck you up.
I'll be nice to who I want to. You strange bald-headed testicle bleeding fuck.
I don't know if Sweetie would be the best apprentice.
You should offer it to Keynes.
Hey, Keynes,
Nah,
like
Keynes is a
fish?
douche.
Keynes, you're gonna start. You gonna keep gawping at us like a pervert, or you gonna get down and do some work?
Never mind, sweetie. Enjoy your day.
That's what I thought. Go grow a hair.
And then she,
I'll subside and I'll do it alone.
I do want to note, Sweetie, in that instance when she was getting yelled at by Keynes, did not at all look like the grown woman who absolutely pulped an extra dimensional being. She looked like a normal, like, intern, just like, oh yeah, I'm slacking, I'm sorry.
She's like a shapeshifter. She's like just a shipmate now. Like,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she went
I love
from
that.
god to person.
Love that so much.
I want to note though, she is wearing a black like sailor's uniform. Like she is dressed like a normal sailor.
She's still in theme.
But in a full. But the thing is, no, it's made of shadow.
I love it.
She still wears clothes made purely out of shadow, but she also just went, okay, like.
What's that ghost from Davy Jones? Like the Davy Jones in SpongeBob. She's Davy Jones. Okay, cool.
Anyway, so that's settled. We'll talk about that at a later, as we sort of go on once everybody knows where they're going. Ace and Kaylin, what's your plan?
So we have two other kind of. So we need resources for the depth charges.
Somebody's got to find stuff to make the depth charges with, and
right.
What do we need for that?
well, that so actually I'll do this with Dahlia as Deacon's getting yelled at by Scots women.
Yeah.
Really quick, I'm just gonna check in. Ace and Kaylin, you're okay if I spend this hour
You
trying to?
are. I don't really
this?
know much about the biology of all of this. As
Kaylin, we did see Deacon grow, like, horse legs? Or something
Yes.
previously?
Well,
So,
adjacent.
yeah, I'd love to see if it works.
okay.
It'd be useful.
She's so like, just today's been a lot. Okay.
If you grow gills and then are unable to be on top of the boat, I will find a little, like, dinghy to tie you to, and you can have your head underwater.
I
That'll
give
be
you
fine.
full permission to kill Deacon Edicus after this episode if I completely eat shit after I spend my hour doing this. So
You're
I
spending
give you
3 hours
full-
doing this, and I'm so excited.
yeah.
I'm so excited. I hope that this works. This is
pray
awesome.
it works. We can. Would you say my aggressive actions
yes.
last game were able to revamp my
Yes.
torture?
Check
Wait.
check one of your A off, and if you, Kaylin, I would argue the same for you, or if you'd like a B for betraying Penelope.
Does only one A clear one tier slot?
No,
like
so-
one tier
No,
cube.
it's all.
It's all of them.
It is a full or
I'll do-
alternatively it can bring your health up, not your condition though. So if you've spent health at all in this time, you can bring it up that way.
No, I just big mommied it. So just get my tears back. I'm gonna use betrayal
Okay.
because I only have 1 aggression and I have 2 betrayal.
That's a good plan.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's betrayal, not backstabbing, right?
Backstabbing, betrayal.
Same thing.
Say okay.
I made the terms. I don't know what they are.
Same difference.
I need like a desk light. Anyway.
Yeah, you
Anybody
need like a
wants to
ring light. You're
gift-
kind of dark.
Yeah, I know it's bothering me.
Somebody gift.
I have an
Christian
extra
a
one.
desk
I'll give it
light.
to you.
It's gonna be great.
Amazon wish list coming up.
If
just
you'd
a
like
desk
to
light.
donate.
A desk light, and a stuffed goat.
Yeah, those are on number 1 on our list.
I bet I could find a demon goat. First bathroom break we have, I'm gonna hunt down a demon goat.
Oh, there's a really cute one actually that I found at the plushie store.
Like a
That
chibi
I bought my
Satan
like
goat.
kind of I bought my little Venus flytrap one.
Oh.
I love it.
Okay.
There is a demon goat.
Anyway, we will
Sorry.
will
We've gotten so off.
No, that's fine. That's fine. So So Dahlia, don't send it in the Discord because it'll screw up my recording.
Well,
So
but you're about to get this.
exciting. So Dahlia has Kaelin and Aes. So, as you probably know, gunpowder is strictly and guns are strictly regulated in or in the city. You could, if you chose a high risk option, you would be able to reach their stores of the stores of gunpowder, but it will require a certain. All right, that's a good demon goat.
Yeah, I love that. I'm obsessed.
Isn't he so cute? It says Mini Baphomet on it. I love him.
I want to show. This is. Oh, that's horrible.
That's horrible. There we go. It's
Your
in
ring
focus.
light is killing him.
There we go. Oh, he's so sweet. Anyway, you may be able to infiltrate the city armory and gather up enough gunpowder, and perhaps using barrels and enchantments go by. Alternatively, if you were able to fashion out of explosive materials such as tar or oils, that could work. It's but there's no guarantee of effectiveness. Also, she looks to Aes for a second. I know you are magically inclined. You could... No, She thinks about it for a second. If you... And she's fighting with herself so much because and now she's like looking back and forth between Kaelin and Aes.
What, Dahlia?
I don't like this proposal because it opens up new avenues for you. If you could acquire sufficient amount of batteries,
Oh.
you could use them as sort of magical charges. But
How would we possibly fill them up in time? And that would require so much energy.
No, we could meditate on it.
It's a long boat ride.
It's a long boat ride.
I have been meaning to learn how to use one.
But that would be volatile, quite dangerous.
It would be very dangerous.
I mean, you could give them to me, and I could swim down there and try to...
You cannot hold them.
I can't hold them?
No.
No, this would have to be done in those depth charges that AS designed.
Oh.
Yeah. We would have to pretty much load them and drop them. And
So
they would have
Grant,
to
so
go.
just so Grant understands, how does depth charge work?
Depth charge, you set a certain pressure requirement or alternatively time requirement. Drop them in water, they sink down and they explode. But because water is thicker than air, the explosion has a different... It has sort of different properties so that you can kind of rattle stuff that's way further away without actually, like, blowing up on top of it.
Rattle? What do you mean by
Like,
that verb?
so the
Like it would more easily knock things off of its course and like do more,
because like
not like physical damage, but it would do more like structural
on like a
damage.
okay, not on like a sonar level.
It basically operates along the same principle that Jango Fett's little bombs in Attack of the Clones operate on. If you have ever seen the best scene in the entire Star Wars prequels, when he just starts dropping little like booms, it operates along that principle. So, or alternatively, fish in the barrel, a much more known cultural thing. Basically, introduce explosive air pressure into water. Water goes squish.
I'm not gonna pretend like Grant can understand this. So great, sounds good.
It's funny
Continue.
watching. You were really, really fighting with it, and for a second I was like, "Oh my God, Grant's bleeding out of their eyes. This is an aneurysm."
It's finally happened. Christian has finally killed me.
You're welcome.
So that would be the guarantee of explosion, but it would be quite dangerous overall.
I like danger.
I believe that the casings would be easy to source. Can I roll to see? I feel like I would have a couple of empty batteries on board for the sake of me losing mine.
Honestly,
only like 2 or 3, but I don't know how many. Because I wouldn't want them to charge on my boat because my boat runs on it's essentially one big battery.
Your boat is more like a giant circuit breaker. Whereas you're technically the circuit breaker, your boat's a giant circuit. And so I would say if you wanted to see, so here's the deal I'll make with you. You could roll cog to determine whether or not you have enough backyard batteries, these sort of cobbled together ones that are basically just a bunch of like glass shards and in a cube. Yeah, it's just kind of a bag of glass, which would reduce the effectiveness of, which would reduce or increase the volatility of them. Or if you had a I'm going to switch off of the bars for a second. Or you could go out and try to source a bunch of batteries that would be less volatile, if that's the plan you want to go with.
I'll roll to see what I have.
Okay, so in that case...
that's 16.
Oh,
nice.
Damn. So
I still don't... But if that means that I already have some, then I would love the avenue we take to go find something else, knowing we already have these.
So what's your moss for that?
I have a 30 in cog, so my moss is 14.
You could make sorry, I have to do math. You could reasonably make 4 hyper volatile depth charges.
4.
4. With what you have.
That's a lot, right?
That's a lot. I mean, we don't know what kind of fight we're about to get into. If at all, if you can grow gills. But...
And there's no way we could somehow sustain their energy explosion enough for me to try to maneuver them to a better spot rather than just dropping them, if that's how they are to
You would take so much damage.
There's just no, I
don't think your magic, Aes, would be able to contain their force?
You'd be undoing the purpose of the bombs. It's great that you would set it off, but if she's containing the explosive force, you'd be undoing the point.
Just for a moment, enough for me to put them in a place. It might be too hoity-toity, and it might be a horrible idea, but if there was a way we could,
Have you ever seen an explosion, priest?
Did you talk to the girl at the Squid Mart?
Yes.
Did she... I don't know if you talked to her about the batteries, but she only had empty batteries for a reason.
Yes.
Is because I've seen teachers become horribly dismembered, and they're very skilled with them, but they were too close to another battery that was charged, and it's a terrible explosion.
I think it is already risky enough, knowing that I'd be in water with my blood kind of diluting in the water. This is already risky enough. Had I get blown up,
do you think
I can't control my blood as well in the water? I'd imagine that to be the case.
Oh. You can control your blood?
How do you think gills work?
Well, no, the gills are separate. Those are separate.
Okay.
But if I was to lose like a limb in the water, and I started bleeding out, I couldn't just try to control my blood to bring it back in my in my body, because It's like diluted in the water. I don't know. This makes sense in my mind. I don't know.
Anyway.
Is it not landing? No?
I feel
I'll
like
go
this is how
fuck
you looked
myself.
at me when I went, oh, well, in the sky, do I see the absence of the existence of absence? And the look you gave me. This is how I feel right now.
Oh, that was what I just did. Okay, great.
So if that's your plan, you want to go with the batteries option. That is, you're more than entitled to it. I wish you the best.
We'll play that by ear. But I would love to go for a less volatile option in the meantime. Sorry. That was the least helpful thing you could say.
Since we've-
Lyra.
Kaylin, how important are the lives of the rest of these individuals to you after we rescue these Floranians?
Which individuals?
The other individuals in the ship? Greta? The general?
Greta, I have met. And
What's the name? Really quick. The name of the girl who was working
Claudia.
with Claudia. General Claudia?
Sergeant
What's-
Claudia.
Sergeant.
And
The
Claudia's on the
sergeants?
boat.
Yes.
How important are their lives to you, Kaylin?
Greta is a maniac and the bringer of chaos. I do not care if ill falls upon her whatsoever. Same with Claudia. I will have to hold back
I would.
for taking care of her myself. But Odd is not at fault here, and in my brain, no harm shall come to him. Odd was unaware and did not make the choice for my people to be on that boat. That was Claudia and Penelope. I do not want to start a war with the Deep Folk and Floranians. I want to rescue my people. Therefore, in my eyes, Odd will not be harmed and will continue on where he's going. My people will be off the ship. If Claudia and Greta get hurt along the way, that is their qualms. Because to me, that is fair.
Dahlia, maybe you can help me with this. Is Greta going to be in chains when we find her, or?
Traditionally, yes, that's where prisoners are. She will most
so she
likely
is-
be locked up. Assuming it's as we could probably guess, they know who they're dealing with. She is going to be under heavy security. So.
I will not be spending any extra energy trying to free Greta.
Would you despise if I tried to talk to Greta?
You can talk to whoever you wish, but we should not be spending any extra time and energy on something that is not the plan, in my opinion.
When would you say
How
the
about
plan is?
on the boat we set priorities? We want to
I'm
save?
as GM. I'm now coming in at this point to say, let's go through all the shit and then let's get the boat on the sea before we start
Okay,
strategizing, taking we're gonna hand wave this for time's sake because we don't need to go through all of that. So, real quick, we haven't discussed, Kaylin, what do you want to do? Is there anything? Do you want to help with weapons? Do you want to do some research? Do you want to friggin' write a sick ass letter?
I think I wouldn't write to home until after this
Okay.
to explain, what eventually ends up happening. I don't want to stress them out now and have them do something rash if I'm able to solve the situation. The only thing that she would want to know more about is how they're being stored on the boat, but I don't think there's any paperwork or anything that we haven't found that would give me that clue. Am I right on that?
So, if you were to spend
Because
some...
they wouldn't just be like I don't know.
If
I
you
don't know
were
how submarines
if you
work.
were to spend some time, you could probably look into, at the very least, the sort of theory behind how a submarine should work and sort of what they have here, trying to like reverse engineer it, because all of AS's people have been focused on just like the part. So if you wanted to try to make sense of the whole, you and Dahlia could probably work out how the boat is, or how the sub is sort of like laid out and designed.
AS, would you be okay gathering materials alone, or do you think you would need assistance? As that's the most pressing.
As long as I'm not seen, and there's no issues with me being discovered, it should be fine. But I may require backup, but I could probably ask some of my ladies if you need to stay here.
As of now, I am not sure if I was very good at fooling Penelope in my barf exit.
You barfed.
Yes. Obviously.
With every passing day, you're becoming more like me.
Yes, unfortunately. But due to this, I'm not sure how hidden I should remain as well.
Yeah, unless we're looking for nausea medication, I don't know how well your story would hold.
Yes. And I'm assuming she will discover that her papers have gone missing quite soon, if not already. So, which way are you sourcing these materials, AS? Are you going into town to try to find gunpowder, or?
Yeah. What was the other option?
Oil and pitch and
like
stuff like
tar
that.
and shit.
So that would be the lowest. That would be the easiest to acquire, but also the lowest like damage.
Right.
Like, so it's pretty much gunpowder is high reliability, high damage. Alternate, and then the other two are sort of permutations of that, but gunpowder is friggin' hard to get.
Yeah.
How much money do you got, Ace? Just so I know.
You keep out of my pockets.
I want to touch your pockets. Let me feel what is in your pockets.
You'd find 4.6 RP worth of gems.
I have 7.2.
It's relatively a lot.
Sounds like you should go buy things. I have a business to run.
Fair. Is there a way that I really want to know the layout of this ship? I think that would make it a lot easier for us to find my people, which is why I'm stressed about what decision.
Dahlia and Vepin's dealer could probably do that together.
So we could.
If I go buy stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
AS, write me a list of what I need, and I will go on a shopping trip. And hopefully not barf over everyone.
Hopefully not get caught in the mists. So
You're buying the gunpowder, right? Or are you buying like tar?
If
and
I
stuff?
can find how much gunpowder, like if I steal some guns,
so here,
how many
no,
guns would I have to steal?
not how gunpowder
I
works.
need like a barrel.
Yeah,
like
you're looking at barrels.
Okay.
But I do
Sick.
like this image of you just taking pistols and
Like,
emptying
yeah.
them.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to
how that
need
works.
3. I'm going to need rolls from all of you, and the choices you make at this time will decide. Actually, no, Deacon, your choices are already made with what you're doing. So Deacon, I need knowledge rolls.
How many?
I need 2 knowledge rolls.
Okay.
And I need the moss of each of them.
Okay.
And then I need a discipline roll after the fact.
It's doubles.
Oh. Is that a lucky number?
No, it's 5 away.
Uh.
Can I fork that knowledge roll in with a
Kick?
D10? Kick it. Can I kick it with a Colt?
Yes.
Okay. Just.
I think you mentioned growing gills last week, and I totally forgot that you threw that idea out there.
They did.
I think
Yep.
I think it was during the break.
Yeah. It happened. And I was just as confused then.
Yeah.
Okay,
As
so
I
what does that turn it into? A
Oh,
64 and
Turns it
roll
into
the
a
10?
4 or a 14.
14. Okay.
14.
So.
Yeah. 10's place would be a 1.
Yeah.
So that's a
Right.
moss of 1 and a moss of.
No, it turns it into
No,
Yeah,
no,
it turns into a 4.
Turns
It
into a
says
4.
0.
I
If you
know
rolled a
my
1, It
game.
would be there.
I know my game. It turns
It
it
turns
into
it into
4.
Okay.
Gills.
Okay. That is a moss of 36.
Okay.
Woo!
So you have a 36 and then 0
and
on
a
the.
moss of 1.
Okay.
uh,
And then give me a discipline roll.
And a discipline roll. Okay.
The discipline roll
23,
is to
that's
not
pretty
eat
good.
every worm in sight.
That's 36 minus 23.
No,
Wait, no, I get.
is discipline 36?
Discipline is now actually 39 because I have 9 counters.
Okay.
So 39 minus 23 is how much?
39
16?
minus 23?
16.
Yeah, 16.
16. So a moss of 16, bringing my counters up to 12. Okay. So those are my rolls.
Okay. In that case, you will receive. Perfect. You will receive plus 20 to your form roll to give yourself gills.
Okay.
And great. So you'll still have to make a source roll, and you'll still have to make. You won't have to make a target roll. I reserve the right to make you roll into underwater. Ha 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 ha. All right. Ace, I need 2 knowledge rolls. I need 2 knowledge rolls and a connection roll as you're sitting with Dahlia.
Okay. You want the knowledge rolls first? Or
Yes.
The connection roll first?
I'd like the knowledge rolls first. That's
Okay.
okay.
That's good.
1 away from lucky number.
It is so close to my lucky number. Can I roll my connection and then see?
No.
Can I kick this?
Yeah, you can totally kick
That's
this.
what I'm trying to figure. What I was saying is, can I roll my connection and then kick this? Just to get him out of the way. But that's fine. I can do it.
No, to kick this first, because I want the moss.
Knowledge. I don't know what I would kick this with. Knowledge of what am I rolling for?
Do you have sailing?
No.
Okay. Yeah, you and Dahlia are basically poring over those blueprints you looked at again to you previously you managed to determine that this was a ship or this was a submarine, but now rather than doing an investigation roll, you are trying to put it together and basically build it in your own little heads.
Okay, so I have physics, Fessy, and Sate that I think are maybe the only things that are helpful here.
Physics.
Physics. All right. We will try here tier 2. So 46 or 54. No, might as well use
Do you
my
have
tier
any
1.
counters from last game?
44 is
44.
doubles.
Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
And then my con roll.
And then a con roll, yes. If you'd like to roll networking.
Yes.
Yeah, I've never rolled worse. Okay, that's
20. Okay. So, and so you got a moss, and that's what mattered. And so you got positive on your connection roll, so nothing is taken away from your knowledge rolls, which is good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that basically what was happening with you was it was your own sort of crap relationship with Dahlia, not interfering.
Okay.
And so the two of you manage to buckle down and figure out a rough outline of where things are. And you may want to write this part down. So you have found out there are really 3 core important places on this sub. Munitions.
You share this information, right? I can write this down.
Yeah.
Okay.
At the top of the sub is the bridge, where Odd will most likely be. That is also what controls the sub. You have figured out it works by using a Fessy spell to compress water and shoot it out the back, so that it runs mostly silently. But
like a caterpillar system.
yeah, like some sort of caterpillar. Just kind of squeaky. This is all a reference to the movie Hunt for Red October,
Which I have the Wikipedia page open for right now.
Do you really?
Proud of you.
Oh my god. You're soulmates.
Anyway,
Thank you.
So then you determine there's munition storage, where most of the weapons are going to be kept. If somebody were to disable that, the sub would no longer be a threat.
Okay.
Um,
That would be
and-
in the
middle of it, yes. And then at the very bottom of the sub and the very back of the sub, you've managed to figure out that there is an open cargo space that would be ideal for holding prisoners. So there are 3 spaces that would need to be sort of taken control of. Because if all 3 are left, or if any one is left unattended, something bad could happen. Either they could drive the sub away, they could fire off a whole bunch of bombs, possibly even blowing up the sub, or they could just kill the prisoners.
The benefits for breaking the bridge is just because it will make it not silent anymore.
Nobody can drive the sub.
Nobody can drive the sub.
Yeah.
Let me write that down.
So you would have... So, like I said, you and Dahlia pretty much conclude that there has to be... All 3 have to be taken control of simultaneously.
Oh, shit.
Otherwise, you wouldn't be... Otherwise, one would be able to undermine the efforts of the other 2.
Okay. We all going in, baby.
Yeah. And then we're all separating.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, we have to put Deacon with the guns.
Oh, I'm glad I'm going to the guns.
Kaylin now.
Yes.
Oh, wait, actually, I have to modify
I'm so excited
the
for this.
thing.
This is like probably my favorite episode so far.
Aw, thanks.
Like, I'm
No,
so
because
excited
Kaylin
for
never
this.
did any shopping previously. I can't wait to see her haggle.
I don't buy nothing. I don't know what to
nothing.
buy.
Oh yeah, you're buying. This is your shopping episode.
I don't buy anything. I don't know how to do this.
I'm a minimalist.
She already has a backpack and it's very uncomfortable.
And not because
That's
it's filled
bullshit.
with hands.
No, just because it's a backpack.
A very unsuspicious, lumpy bag.
She's just like clutching it to her chest. This doesn't spark joy in me. So, Kaylin, I need 2 cog rolls.
Okay.
And your answer for what you're looking for. What are you sourcing? Are you sourcing battery materials, semi-inert materials, or are you going for the gold?
I don't know what semi-inert.
The stuff like tar and stuff like the non-volatiles.
AS, what was I had you write me a
Gunpowder.
list.
It was, if you could find gunpowder, you'd most likely have to steal it. But that would be like minimum, it would be pretty much insured to hit and rock them, but it wouldn't do as much damage as if we had to use the batteries. But if you found oil and tar, it would do less damage, but it's also like going to be less useful in trying to get them to stop moving.
But aside from all of this, there's also an aspect of volatility where it may miss entirely because it goes off too early. So a low volatility is more likely to explode where it needs to.
Okay.
Gunpowder is the best of both worlds, but it's hardest to get.
Christian, do you feel like she could not just drop a handsome penny to buy the gunpowder, or that's not an option?
Do you have
She has to
do you
steal.
have the do you have the event black market contacts?
No.
Then no.
Okay.
It legally this is
like trying to buy shit in the middle of World War II, right?
Yeah.
Like you're trying to buy like a very...
yeah, because
I feel
as
like they should because of me, but that's my problem, I suppose.
yeah,
do you have that? You have black market?
No, I am the black market.
Oh, that's right.
A
You
is
don't
You are
have
my
gunpowder
black
on your
market
supplier.
contact.
You don't have any gunpowder on your ship?
No, not in like a supply kind of way.
Cannons are weight savings. Anyway, so
You know what? I'm pretty sneaky. I think.
all
I have disguise and I have acrobatics and I can jump around like a little. I already was a little creep monster earlier. So let me
I
be a
can't wait
little
for this.
creep again. I'm gonna try to be a little creep.
I can't wait for this.
Creep.
I'm a little creep.
All right.
Because if I don't succeed, we have the batteries.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I might as well go for the better one.
We have the batteries.
you have
Yes.
4, yeah.
We have 4.
We have batteries. Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna try to bust into a local guard armory and steal it.
If I need to hurt some people,
So in that case,
I wouldn't want to,
I'm going to need first a con roll for you.
okay.
Just a speed roll to sort of build a better stealth disguise. 100, so 0 so doubles on so doubles on success. You're able to do that just fine, no issue. And now
Little baby.
so you now I need 2 dex checks.
You have gone 0 to 70, fucking Lyra. I just want you to know this. You are now breaking into a guard armory alone.
Okay, wait. So, what can I use to kick?
You could kick it with disguise. You could kick it
Make
with
sure it's not a lucky number.
flower arranging.
No, it's one off.
Uh,
I could kick it with flower. Oh, I could kick it with flower arranging because I'm being a little sneak about it.
You being a stealthy ficus, like.
Can be a a potted plant.
Oh my god! Look at me.
14.
Go flower arranging.
Okay.
A 1?
Go flower arranging. Go. Go.
make sure
flower
you're
arranging,
taking
go.
all of your
Counters, yeah.
counters too.
Oh yeah, so that was I get 4 for that.
I think I asked last time, but I forget. Is a successful double counters in the return or no?
Oh.
Well, that wasn't unsuccessful. It was a double, but it was only a win because it was a double, right?
But just in
Yes,
general.
that was
Yes.
doubles over.
So that doesn't get any.
But I just wanted to ask to clarify. I thought I asked this last
in
game. I
general,
don't remember.
does
I
it give you double counters?
Don't think that is written anywhere.
Cat shit-eating grin!
But I kind of like it.
I kind
Please?
of like it. I'm kind
I'll-
of here for
I'll
it.
allow it. Could my
Grant, I think you had a successful doubles earlier.
could my editor please
sounds
write
like
a
it.
note down for me? Could my book editor please write a note down for me to add that to the mechanics? Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Actually, I don't know.
Playing
what was
a
my
game
successful
mid-
doubles?
Playing a game mid
Mid edition.
mid beta work is great.
No, you didn't have any successful double.
I didn't. I had a
You had a 99.
Good to know.
So anyway,
Rolled. Okay, so it was the dex and another dex. Or what was the other one? Okay, the con, a dex.
the second one is also a dex now
Okay.
to get yourself out.
Successful doubles.
We manifested that shit.
We have an 11 on a successful doubles. Yes,
We
indeed.
did that.
Cat, thank you. For
You're
that.
welcome.
How many counters do you have now?
12.
Sick. We have the same amount.
All 3 of us.
You have 12 too?
This is gonna be fun.
Nice.
This is gonna be weird. So yeah, you're able to get out with a gunpowder.
Can I describe how I was a little sneak?
Sure, I'm gonna add a little bit to what you described, but go ahead.
Okay. So, set the scene with the room.
So So at this point, you have already managed to infiltrate, and you creep by first through like a jail layer of people who are all victims of torture and various forms of abuse. And just as soon as they drag somebody from one of the cells into an interrogation room, you make your play.
Okay. So I'm going into the...
This is you getting in, yeah.
Into
the...
Just like a room.
Yeah, into the room with all the gunpowder. They store it in the same building they store their prisoners.
Okay, sick. Alright. So, I think a visual would help.
Oh, fuck.
Just for the
Yes.
walk.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh, boy.
I have to take off my headphones.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Get ready for a creepy plant walk.
I hope she gets into tree pose and then just hops a little.
No! Yeah.
Wait. So that's what I think the chupacabra looks like. And I need someone to prove me wrong.
That was simultaneously so scarring and also deeply, deeply inspiring.
Yeah, so she's riding a high right
Just
now.
literally
so,
tiptoeing her way past crimes
Yes.
against humanity, left and right.
Scooby-Doo vibes.
Yeah, exactly. Like, not... She just happens to be so... like, the timing was just perfect. It wasn't that she was really hiding very well. It's that she just happened to go at the right time. And everybody else was too shook already. So then them seeing that just kind of traumatized them more into a silent state, I'd say.
Cool and good.
Yeah, and so then I get in the room and I just Hulk those bad boys, you know?
Yep.
I just pick them up. And then can I do a little, like, wink to
the
someone?
camera?
Wink to camera.
Yeah, and just, like, same walk out, but with the barrels.
Fucking sure.
Sick.
That was a wild 3 hours. So I now need you to make a might roll, Caitlin. Last roll of the round.
Oh, to see how much you can carry?
Are you fucking kidding me?
Get the luck out now, bitches. Get the luck out now.
God.
Spend all that goodwill.
Oh.
When you're
God.
When you're in a tin can covered in pitch, miles beneath the sea, at depth that most creatures don't even live at.
Shut up,
Fucking
give me my gunpowder.
Spend the luck now.
Yeah, can you just skip to the part where we just blow this fucker up? Like, do we even need to play at this point? Like,
Okay.
For the people who can't see, that was another successful doubles.
Yeah.
You were able to. What is that actual moss though?
Moss of... Oh god, I have to do counters. That is... Hold on.
And you had
The
extra
21.
double counters.
21. So that's 51. That's 10 depth charges of ideal volatility and damage. So you have four
Damn.
hyper volatile ones that have increased chance to miss, and then you have 10 ideal ones.
So in the bars, looking sneaky? Looking sneaky
That's
now?
right. I do. I feel
Wait,
as though that warrants.
'Cause he said last time that he has bars that he won't show us of loud, quiet, and talkative.
I was so quiet.
oh yeah, what would mine be then too?
I was tiptoeing.
Yours already gave you points for quiet.
I was
Okay, cool.
tiptoeing.
You
We're so
that
quiet.
was
We're
a
such a quiet
sneaky
bunch.
walk.
It was a sneaky walk.
In my mind, I had you add a rock that you threw, and you were like, "Look over there!" and then ran. That's how I like to imagine
What
it.
is it, Hitman with the little coin?
Yeah, it's Hitman with the coin. All right.
I wanted to go full Scooby.
That was beautifully executed.
So 10 depth charges worth of gunpowder.
Yes.
Dope.
Sick.
Hopefully
I'm
we
glad I
don't
learned.
need the batteries.
Yeah.
Yay!
And so you return with all of your things. You make it back to the warehouse with your new knowledge. Deacon is now feels qualified to gill up to GHS.
So did Deacon do it though?
No.
Or they just understand it?
You come out. You see Deacon come out of a room in your boat, just holding a filleted fish.
Good job.
It went well.
So actually, I'm gonna take away a little bit. I'm gonna describe what you're holding for a second, just so it's clear to everybody else. Deacon had to understand how gills work, what the sort of biology behind it was, how it reaches. So Deacon cut up one fish and did all of that. And then, Kat, if you'd like to remove your headphones, I'll give you a thumbs up when you're safe. Deacon added about 12 gills onto a fish. Deacon just kept adding gills over and over again to make sure he could practice this, and he got pretty accomplished with it.
I tried to give him a third eye, but I don't know. I don't think it will work.
So, first off, Kat can return. So first off, now that we're about ready to set out on our quest, we're going to take a quick bathroom break, and we will return as we are sailing out to go catch the ISS Forsaken.
I'm so excited for that.
I can't.
Anyway, so getting back into it, returning to where we were, you were about all ready to go now. You're all set. You have as much as you can ask for. You've made the depth charges. 3 hours have passed.
Time for strategy.
You have done that. Well, before we do that, Dahlia is meeting with you in the wet dock. One last time. Just
all of us?
well, specifically, if you show up, she's talking to Kaylin. So she turns to talk to Kaylin.
I'll be there with you.
I know this is... I wish I could join you, is all I will say. I know things are going to be difficult now, but I have a strong faith in you.
And she takes your hand one more time.
Please, if circumstances prevent you from returning after the completion of your mission, whatever that may be, please write to me.
Of course. Yes.
Thank you.
Hey, Kaylin!
What?
I got the gills to work. I did it. That's like, this is so cool.
Dahlia lets go of her hand and turns around and walks away and just leaves.
Oh.
Good job, Deacon.
I apologize.
Yeah, just a little interrupty there, you know.
Well, it's good news. This is great. We have a good chance of saving your friends. Whether or not they're alive is a different story. But this is a great thing.
I don't know why they would transport prisoners dead.
Well,
So
I mean,
there's
if
no
they
point
are
in cutting
dead,
off a dead person's hand.
that's a good point. Well, if one of them is dead, do you think?
You're not
Do you
eating
think
any
no,
of them.
I don't want to eat them, but like if I was to I don't know.
All right, so moving on.
She just walks away. No.
The boat is able to be taken out fairly easily. You sail out of the harbor without issue on account of the fact.
Can I ask you a question you can reject?
Yes.
Now that we've made it out of the harbor, can I tick off C in my string?
Yes. You've done crimes.
I've done crimes.
Anyway, so you push out of the harbor without issue, and now it's time to reveal the results of the bars to you.
Oh shit.
So,
It has, so you have accumulated 9 sneaky points,
Sneaky.
7 loud points,
Okay.
and 5 talkative points.
Sneaky.
Now, I will remind you, though, the goal of this was to accumulate as many of one category. You wanted to specialize yourself. So, unfortunately, you didn't do great. But you did all right, is what I will say. Actually, Kaylin's last-minute little sneaky sneak and Deacon's Gill thing saved you from being way worse off than you were. This has determined the efficacy of the ship. So the ship is going to be its own attribute for this chase. As
Our ship or their ship?
Your ship.
Oh.
Is going to have its own sort of efficacy that it's going to run off of, and it's going to have its own target number. So the way that will work is that is now an extra attribute that you are going to roll on. Counters will be in effect.
Do we all roll, or
is it 9? Or it's 9?
No, it's not 9.
Oh.
No, I did a little bit of math real fast. You're at the target number for ship rolls is 40.
Okay, ship roll.
And
Okay,
so
that's pretty good.
So that's not bad.
40 flat?
40 flat.
Okay.
So the way that's going to work is different things are going to occur in the lead up to the attack, whether that be sonar or whether that be sailing the ship to find them, sonar, dropping the bombs, so on and so forth. All of those things are going to be rolled on that attribute. Whoever is rolling it may use their specialties as though they were doing it their own, and they may use their counters as though it were their own.
If we don't have do the specialties are entwined with what we're doing to the ship, not
Correct.
ship related.
Correct. It's not like you have you don't need like sailing or something in that case.
Right.
So, for an example, as you set out and you begin doing what you have to do, Aes, do you have navigation?
I do.
If you would...
I also do.
Okay, this is good to know. Aes, I need you as the captain of this ship to set out and make your first make your first roll with your target number of 40. If you'd like to use navigation, you could kick it with navigation. And this is
I
going...
also, in round 1, had, I believe it was Stokes was in charge of mapping during the first 3 hours. I don't know if that means anything here.
That was more of like the investigation stuff. Yeah, that played into your investigation.
It's my lucky number.
It's 1 and 2 away from lucky numbers.
Cool and good.
Oof.
Oh, wait. I just have to remember that I have counters right now.
Yes.
It does not help me here. But,
No.
okay, so I can kick it with navigation, though.
Yes, or if you have something else that you believe would be relevant.
Probably not.
78 or 82?
It's not. Those are both larger numbers, so I guess I'll use my...
42?
42?
And counters?
With counters?
Oh, right, with the ship's counters.
Well, you have
or
your
with
counters.
my counters on the ship.
On the ship's target number.
Yes.
So
Okay.
you're shooting for a 40, and then plus any counters you may have.
Okay, so with the 42, I make it.
Okay, so using your navigation specialty, you roll a 42, and add your counters, which I think you have 12 counters.
Yes.
So you succeed
Christian.
by more than 10. You do also get you would get 4 counters per the ship
Oh.
as your bonus.
Okay.
For all intents and purposes, you have a new attribute labeled boat.
Okay.
So you set off, and thankfully you're able to make decent time. You're able to kind of follow the charts and the course of the Forsaken. That basically there is not going to be a dangerous time component of it possibly hitting deep folk waters while you're reaching it. So you've managed to protect yourselves in that way. So now you have a little bit of time on AS's ship as you're sailing out, and weirdly enough, as you're actually, first let me ask, what are Deacon and Kaylin doing at this time?
Deacon is standing on the side of the ship. Is it like cloudy out? I don't know. Deacon is standing on the side of the ship, kind of putting his hand out to feel like this salty water, kind of reminding him of his home in Kir Mystico.
And Kaylin, what are you doing?
Kaylin is trying to take, like, in her mind, count out, okay, everybody that I sent. Let me make sure I have a clear list of who I'm looking for. And trying to figure out what she's going to say in her letter after the fact.
Okay. I'll start with Kaylin. As you're... And are you doing this on the top deck? Are you just sunning for a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. So everybody is on the top deck.
Photosynthesis.
And as you do, sort of just standing in front of you, like looking out, and with her little bear also looking out, is little girl, who is like... The two of them are sort of like doing this bit where they're like keeping a weather eye on the horizon.
Beautiful. Love her.
Um,
I'm just gonna do a little...
Deacon, at the same time, Goat just kind of like bubbles up out of the side of the boat as you're like looking out into the salt spray. Goat just...
Psst. Come here. Get up here.
Goat does not move. He's just kind of looking at you.
You want to see something cool?
Goat is uninterested.
Fuck you.
Goat gets up, walks over to, climbs onto the deck over the bulwark, and goats his way over to Kaylin's list of people, and just
Oh, hi. Hello.
gingerly places one hoof. Goats have hooves, yes.
Yes.
Gingerly places one hoof on Kaylin's list, and then takes it down.
You can shoo him away, you know that, right?
Like he puts the list down?
No, he like taps it, the whole time, never broken eye contact with Deacon, even though like at any point in this, his head is doing unnatural things to maintain eye contact with Deacon as it pokes the list.
Shoo.
I think Kaylin is so enwrapped that she thinks he just wants a piece of paper, so she rips one for him and just hands it. Just
don't feed him, he'll stay. Go.
It goes in his mouth and then plops down like it had just been soaked in oil. And then he pokes the list again.
What do you need, you stupid fucking barn animal? What?
Can I poke the goat back? Just
don't touch him. Don't just
he's
act like he's not there.
Wet.
He obviously wants your stupid list. You might as well just, I don't know, give it to him.
But what if he just eats it again?
You can make another, I don't know. Animals do stupid things all the time. If you can even call this thing an animal.
Deacon, I am going to
because the goat is so actively and clearly trying to communicate with you, I am going to give you a very rare opportunity to roll cog to try to understand what the fuck this goat is talking about.
Fuck. Is that a lucky number?
It's one away. I don't even think that I would necessarily succeed on this, even if I did. Do I kick it with something?
Can Kaylin try?
Can I?
Can I just
Yeah,
hand the list? I'm gonna hand the list to the goat.
Can I kick it with no? I don't really think that this is gonna go anywhere.
I'm gonna hand
me, at least.
the goat the list.
He takes the list in his mouth very gingerly for once and walks it over to Deacon, placing it on the deck, and just kind of like taps at every name, all 12 of the names, one after the other, and just looks at Deacon.
You can't eat them, if that's what you're wondering about. They're made out of plants.
Goat rolls his eyes.
What? They're just measly plant people. We're just on a stupid mission. Can you just...
The other two...
Can you just try to speak?
I'm going to be
Hello?
on... The other two... I will now also afford... I'm going to afford you either a perception or a connection roll to see if you can understand even an inch of what Goat is doing.
Me?
No, the other two.
Those are two of the worst rolls we've ever had.
No,
Y'all,
really.
this
Wait,
is where our
Can
our
I
luck
kick it
is.
with linguistics?
Can I use empathy?
Yes, you can use empathy.
Okay.
So I can't use linguistics?
No, you cannot use linguistics. 60 on empathy?
76?
Is that a lucky number?
How about
Not-
networking?
no.
Can I network with this goat a little?
Oh, I have networking.
You could try networking.
Okay.
Try
No, do you
networking.
want me to save them? That's what I'm doing. What do you want of
Goat
me?
goes... "Bah."
55?
55, double success. 20 for Kaylin.
20!
In that moment of you saying, do you want me to save them, Goat actually expressing what could be described as like an ululation of joy. Like, he just pops up.
Who did you expect
The
me
two
to
who
do?
pass the results, you realize he's trying to focus Deacon. He's trying to get Deacon to pay attention to the names on the list. And he's trying to say, these are the names, like, this is what matters.
Lyra, you had a higher success than I did.
Mm-hmm.
So you got.
Do you want me to save them? What do you want of me, stupid
Deacon,
goat?
Deacon,
Yes?
if I may, I think possibly I'm gonna pick up the list. I think what he's trying to tell you is that this is what the focus should be in this mission: is saving these people. Anything else is not the focus. This is. So remember these names. I can make you your own list. Actually, here, you keep this list. You study these names.
I don't need a list, Kaylin. Do not patronize me.
Well, can you name all 12 names off the top of your head currently?
Why would I need to know that?
Because these are the people that we are saving, Deacon.
This is
the reason we're
this
here.
is your...
Are you on this boat or not?
I am. And what I'm trying to say is I am here for you, and I'm going to try my best to support you and do whatever this stupid goat wants. But what I'm saying is I will do what I have to do. Okay?
Deacon?
I don't...
Deacon, why are you growing gills if not to save my friends? It's not to talk to Greta. It's not to mess with anything else on this boat or eat anybody. It is to save my friends, correct? All he wants you to do is focus. I'm not asking you to factor anything else in. He's just saying to focus. And that's all I'm saying, is to focus. There's no point in being defensive about this, Deacon. We're just trying to help you. And to help this mission. And then we can all go home and you can go back to your friends and to your life. I know you don't like being on these missions with us. So if you'd like it to end as fast as possible, this is what the focus is. And then she's just gonna get up and go write her own list. And leaving the list for you.
I'll take the list.
You find little girl with her bear just clapping. Just like... And she even goat walks away satisfied. Like this is the happiest Goat has probably ever been. He pops up a hoof to little girl. Little girl smacks him with the bear. Smacks a hoof with the bear.
I love that.
That's so sweet. Is Boris here?
Boris has been by your side this entire time. Goddamn if he's ever made a noise though. He's just been chilling.
Have I even noticed him? I probably haven't.
Probably not.
I'll run over to Kaylin.
She's...
Kaylin, we shouldn't even be wasting our time worrying about what I'm going to do.
Deacon, whether
Why?
you like it or not, you're valued in this mission. We value you. Believe it. So I value what you do.
I should be freed to do what I please, no? If I want to talk to someone, I will. These are your people. You save them.
I can't control what you do, Deacon. I know that. I'm aware. We've found that out many, many, many times. I'm trying to offer you guidance. And I know you probably won't take it, and I know it's a shot in the wind, and I'm probably just talking to myself, basically. But I needed to say it. It's been said. If it's been heard, it's been heard. If it hasn't, I tried. I'm just trying to do what's best. I'm not saying you have to do it alone, Deacon.
No, Kaylin, I'm just asking. There's not a part of you that begs for blood and vengeance.
Of course
for these people that they took from you. Do you not understand what it means to be taken?
Deacon, did you not watch me murder 3 people?
And that was the one time I saw you actually choose to be involved. And God forsake, I ask you to do it again.
I killed 3 people, Deacon. I'm not a killer. I don't like killing. I didn't enjoy what I did back there. It was a moment of weakness, and it was a moment that I'm not proud of it. But it happened. And I can't control if that rage comes over me again. I don't want it to happen, and I'm going to spend this time meditating on why I'm really here, and it's not to focus on those terrible, terrible people. It is to help the people that I love and that I care about. And if I don't get the chance to hurt those other people because I'm too focused saving the people I love, I am so okay with that. And I prefer it...
What? Prefer what?
To focus on the people that I love and not the people that I hate and might want dead. I'd rather focus on the love. Because that is who I am. Despite the terrible, terrible things that have happened. I am carrying a backpack of my friend's hands. Obviously, I understand how awful these people are, and obviously, I want to hurt them. But it's not gonna help the situation if I don't save my friends first.
Little girl comes up and just, like, pats you on the shoulder with the bear.
Yes. Hi. Sorry.
At the same time, while all of this is happening, over towards the helm of the ship,
Boris is standing next to Aes, who's just watching all of this happen. And Boris just very quietly, Jerry.
You guys were fighting, and I was just petting Jerry, and it made me feel really a lot better.
At the same time, Boris is sitting next to Boris is standing next to Aes, and then unexpectedly and breaks the sort of silence that was growing out of that fight, and just goes, yeah.
What?
But just like this is just for Aes.
Okay.
And then he looks to Aes, looks up at the stolen deep folk flag that is on the ship, because you have to fly a flag of some kind. Looks up at that, and then just like nuzzles Aes's gun on her hip. Yeah.
I'm a little confused.
Gun, flag.
Yeah. I mean, I intend to do a little damage, yes. If that's what you'd like, friend.
He like looks off at the flag. Or do you follow him when his gaze when he looks off at the flag? He is up over on the by the flag box. He bites open the flag box, pulls out a Fesipton flag, and just kind of lets it fly a little bit before it just kind of like lets it out fly underneath the Jellian flag for a second, or the Deep Folk flag. Teleports down to you holding the Fesipton flag.
I'll go switch it out. Understood. I give him a little scratch.
I assume horses have like an equivalent of purring. I don't know. Some sort of like just contented noise of just like yes. little.
They just like swat their little tail. They're like,
yeah.
That's true. I guess Lyra would know.
That's true.
That's horse girl. Oh.
Grant, make sure your audio is still at the same level. You sound much more quiet than than how you were.
Is it just because my mic was?
I think
down?
so. Yeah.
I think so.
Okay, cool. But yeah, so that happens. And I should mention that as soon as Aes switches out the Fesipton flag, or switches out the Deep Folk flag, which is a diagonal tricolor of green, red, and black, and switches it out for the Fesipton flag, which is a four-pointed star, red, blue, white, green, and then black in the middle on a black field. Puts that up. Boris just cuts the most like patriotic looking, like ripped straight out of a propaganda poster, like aha.
He's just a loyalist guy.
Kaylin is. Oh, I needed. Kaylin, she's just gonna keep writing.
Before we talk strategy, I don't know if I care to follow this goat's wishes. part of me is telling myself to seek vengeance, not only for the people who have hurt your friends, but also heal these deeply scarred individuals that have been trapped and maimed. Do you not want
It is not
vengeance?
your vengeance to be had, Deacon.
We can work together.
We did. We have.
Ace, what are you doing right now? Are you captaining the ship? You're busy?
I've been captaining the ship, but I just switched out the flag on the ship, so I'm like
Yeah.
walking by.
There's people there. You have people to do stuff. You oversee, so you can take minutes away and talk and stuff like that. Everybody knows their job.
Do you mind if we bring Ace in on this conversation?
No. She's been here this whole time, so she's gonna have to know what's going to happen.
Ace.
I've been here the whole time.
Wait, is this game changer? What? How many points do I have? Okay.
Negative?
Yeah. Ace. Do you think it's important that we not that we seek vengeance for these people? Try to right these wrongs.
I think it is important that we get out the people who've been wronged, the Floranians. And I think it's important that they're able to go back to their home and decide retribution for what's been done to them. I don't think we know the whole story. They are mercenaries. At the end of the day, and something that's been bothering me, but I don't think we have the answer to, is someone still has a hand.
Or somebody got their hands taken off before the others, I think, was what it was.
No, because the hands don't reattach. They just kind of grow back over time. So
But
only
one
23.
arrived with a hand already off.
Perhaps. Maybe.
Wouldn't have happened, no.
I just
I guess
haven't
an
quite
example?
figured that out. It's just been bothering me, and I had to throw it in there.
They couldn't have taken the hand off as a show of power.
There's just something that we're missing here that we don't have in the whole story. I don't think we have all of the information, but I do think that it's necessary that we save these prisoners and whoever comes out alive, and we can. That may have been loud. Whoever comes out alive, and we can get detained, possibly back onto my boat, then we can handle it then. We can sort that out.
I was made aware that, and this was, if we choose to take their word, that my people did agree to be transferred, but I don't think that they agreed to be held prisoner.
Yes.
So there's a portion of this that even I do not understand.
Yes. Both the deep
If
folk
there
and
was-
the Floranians have been betrayed here through
If there was a way we were
Penelope
to...
and Claudia.
Claudia.
If there was a way we were to...
I've already thrown up all
Infiltrate.
over Penelope's house, so...
So it can't get
The-
any worse for her.
If there was a way we were able to infiltrate the storing cell that they're in, to try to get a fuller grasp of the situation before
we have
shit
to.
hits the fan.
I would like them out of the ship before we do anything too rash.
So here is the theoretically the depth charges, they cannot attack us unless they come up to the surface. They can if they come to the surface, then they can shoot cannon fire at us, or they can try to like send up a bomb to float, but I don't think that they have the targeting capabilities that we're
Remind you, this thing has two rough methods of attack. It has actually, I'll do this as Keen's. Ma'am, and if I can remind you, they've got two primary methods of attack. Sorry to interrupt, you're sounding like you're going through it. Anyway, so they can throw up sea mines. It'll take some crafty piloting to make sure nothing hits. Alternatively, if they surface, they can lob rockets at us that'll fire pretty quick, and if they hit us, they'll definitely burn the shit out of our entire deck.
How much of a risk is it that I go down and try to infiltrate them myself?
It'd be
as an individual.
Honestly, the hardest part is I don't know how. The hardest thing you could do is the fact you'd be alone.
I agree, and I wanted to bring that up to Aes and Kaelin. How much of a priority is it that I go down there first, not try to make big waves, and try to gather some more information?
In order for you to go down there first, we would have to stop them. Or at least somehow know we are ahead of them, because you'll never catch up.
If we were to get ahead of them, I could easily try to grab onto the ship and find a way in. But Kaelin, I can tell that you deeply, deeply have an attachment to how we go about this. And as much as it goes against everything that I am to...
Is there a breathing underwater mechanic?
No,
roughly how long we can.
No. The bigger thing about it would be, honestly, Deacon's swimming would be the thing that would really get in the way. Actually, would you like to make some cog rolls to try to figure this out? This would be on your actual cog. If you'd like some... Oh, you have war, don't you? You have that war thing.
I do. I have a library on war.
If you ask some questions, I could give you some advice based on how other people have done war before. Alternatively, you could make no rolls, or I could, or you could ask Keen's or Stokes, but they have a limited knowledge, so they're only going to give you a partial explanation.
I wish there was a way to speak to one another while we're not together. Kaelin, is there any way you can communicate to... I don't know, using...
If we could, we would have in the haunted house.
Some kind of voice machine. Some kind of vox machina. That'd be ridiculous.
I do deeply crave the spell message, personally, but
absolutely
we'll have to find a way. We'll find a way around it.
Would remove all distance and challenge from all situations. Just not worth it.
I think it would definitely make it less high stakes.
Here's the thought I've had up till this point. Is that if we could somehow get both Deacon and Kaelin to the boat, whether that, and we can possibly, if it's not that far underwater, because the main reason that people haven't done submarine travel is the pressure that builds. It can't be very low underwater unless they figured that out, and I believe that they're mostly just made it watertight.
I would like to think I would have dealt with that, the pressure dynamic, while I was on my hour.
No, I'm not concerned about
No, we're not talking about you. We're talking about their sub.
Like, the boat itself can't be that far underwater.
Oh, okay.
So...
I mean, that is a good point. And I would like to say, Kaylin, have you ever tried to... I mean, this is a wild thought, but if you were to aid me a little bit so that I have the gills, but if you were to somehow attach yourself to me and try to change your body to give me some sort of large paddle-like arms to try to swim faster, or that way you are attached to me and we can do this together.
I would like you to know that I am not the best in water.
What?
You're
not.
I forgot.
I'm not a very good swimmer.
What? You're just telling us this now?
No, she said this.
No,
it's an event of hers.
In character, she hasn't said it until now, right?
I think she did.
I think I
last
mentioned it.
session.
Yeah.
Oh.
Once I found out they were gonna be on a boat, I was pretty upset.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about this.
Yeah, I don't do well. I get a little bit queasy. It has taken a lot for me to not continue throwing up.
This is a long shot. Ace, you're not scared of water, are you?
I hope not.
Keen starts laughing.
I could try to give you gills as well.
No.
Why?
No. No.
I understand there might be some
Christian,
reservations
no.
to this idea.
Christian,
No.
I have a biology question about Floridians.
Yeah.
Can you grow
Do
gills?
Can I? Because there are certain plants that live underwater without proper, like, lung oxygen kind of intake vibes. Is there? Is it even a possibility that earlier in our canon activity that I turned into a little seaweed man monster creepy guy, that if I did that again, I could therefore breathe underwater as little seaweed
If you weren't
man.
landlubber, I would have maybe have allowed it, but because you're so bad
I'll take the minus to the rolls still, as long as I can breathe.
If there is a way you could aid me in this, Kaylin, I would be forever grateful, and you could keep an eye on me.
I'll add an extra minus if you really feel like.
Wait. I'm going to use my lore and start asking some questions that I think we need. Okay. So,
This sucks!
How...
You all need to watch more submarine movies, like Das Boot, Hunt for Red October.
I don't like war movies.
Fucking 20.
Put me to sleep.
Literally like two fucking, the gayest
fall
fucking people
asleep.
you know. A war movie?
What
fall
is
asleep,
gayer than a giant tube of metal where a bunch of people are forced to operate in close quarters wearing very little outfits? Covered in
You said that
grease.
wrong. The gayest thing about a submarine is the semen.
Yes, it is long and hard and full of semen.
Thank
But
you.
anyway.
My time is over here. Thanks.
The sound of gunfire puts me to bed. Therefore, I don't watch more war movies for longer than 10 minutes because I take a nap.
See, and Christian, you can't fight that because you know that happens to me as well.
Okay, what fucking war questions?
Okay,
What,
so... Oh, God. So...
Isn't that possible for us to board it while it's above the water?
They're not like
Yes.
a whale. They're not going to be beaching. Like, they're not going to come up for air.
That's the point of the bombs.
Okay, wait. So here's the current thought. The current thought is if we can send the depth charges to rattle the boat, they come up to shoot at us
Then we bum rush them.
Right. If then, at that point, Deacon can get and disable I forget what we've called it,
the middle part.
munitions storage,
Yeah.
then they
So
can't
You would take
harm
care of
us.
top deck.
No.
So you would take
No.
care of top deck. Deacon would take care of middle. I would take care of bottom.
The list
yes.
of to do is death weapons, middle deck, which is
Death
mine,
weapons
and then
Yeah, 'cause if we
Ace,
could
what are you doing now?
Well, if I can stop the boat, if I can if we can get
Okay,
the
so if
munitions
I stop the
turned
boat-
off. No, you are disabling the munitions.
Oh yeah. Okay,
You
so
are disabling the
okay.
munitions. My job is to get the boat inoperable without hopefully harming it or puncturing it. And then
How are you going to do
it's
that?
mostly Kaylin trying to do extract in as much as possible during, and you can aid Kaylin because the munitions will already be done. And then we can all
How are we
get
going to
people
stop
out.
the boat, Ace?
It's gonna have to be the depth charges, I believe.
So we're going to have to stop the boat with the depth charges. Then I go down there and destroy the munitions.
We're going to get the boat to come to the surface with the depth charges. You're going to start trying to stop the munitions because I have to go into defense mode once they start firing at us. My boat is not built for combat.
So real quick to explain what happens, just so you two who have not been forced to watch a bunch of submarine movies by your loving fiance. So when it surfaces, it can still move, and so it can fire it can fire and move. But if Deacon is able to disable its firing control, it is no longer a threat to them. It will no longer be a threat to you. Aes, from her boat, can now just kind of beat it up because it'll basically be considered helpless, but it can't fight you from under the water. The best it can do is sort of poop sea mines into the air.
Getting it to stop attacking us is priority number one.
Yes, and if Aes can, and yes, exactly, because then it can't go underwater because then the depth charges would kill it. So it has to stay above the water and just kind of putter around. So Aes and Kaylin could join.
So
Ace,
basically, Deacon, you have to go in while it's underwater, disable the weapons, and then we'll make it come to the surface. Ace, keep beating it up. I'm gonna go down and get everybody.
Alone?
Unless you're done doing the weapons things, but if somebody tries to fight you in the weapon room, you gotta do that. Like, I don't know.
If we can
I'm
get
fine
it to
doing
fully
it alone.
surface, we can send
I don't know
Kaylin
how
in
I
with
feel
you, but
about
that's the
doing it
whole
alone.
point of you having gills.
That's true, but
Is you go in first.
I imagined it would be in a different order, and I imagined at least somebody would be able to aid me.
Neither of us have gills.
Well, there's an opportunity for that.
I don't think that I'm capable of growing gills.
You're not touching me with your gills. I'm sorry.
I won't be touching my gills to you.
No, don't you? No. No.
I don't think I'm capable of it.
Kaylin, you can't help me.
I think I will hinder you more than help when it comes to water.
She takes a -10 to all rolls in water.
All
I
right.
take
rolls in water.
-5 just on this boat.
I mean, then this is the
It's
The
just,
choice we
you're
made.
gonna have to just roll really well to swim and get in.
Well, we were talking about going in front of them and then dropping me
Yes.
so I can.
That's how you would have to do it, because there's no way you can swim faster than the boat. We just kind of have to
Well, that
drop
was my
you in there
question. Is
line
like,
of-
how fast can they move in the pressure that they can go in? Like, how deep do we have to? That's why I was gonna use my library. I don't know if we have like relative depth and speed measurements.
So what I will. So, on one hand, this shouldn't technically be covered by your library because nobody's ever. I mean, I guess yeah, like military theory.
That's what I
allows for the existence of submarines, so I guess we could, but pretty much the base of it is if you can land a hit on it, naval doctrine would say that they should one hit should be enough to make them like sort of have to come up for, or at least come up to scout what the fuck just happened, because they should be blind down there other than like periscope. So if you can,
Okay,
so one
so-
hit takes them to periscope depth, so they're going to look for what the hell just hit them. And so that would be when Deacon could sneak in.
Yes. With the knowledge we have to hit them. They come to the surface. Deacon goes to somehow try to enter from the side so that they can get into the munitions section to be able
The
to
munitions
disable that.
section has a portion for them to like open up and fire rockets out of. So
you could
Deacon
enter
could,
from the
in
top.
theory, break into that with a might roll.
Okay. So we are attacking them before I enter into their vicinity.
Yes.
Yes. So it's 2 rolls, 1 to overtake and 1 to drop it a bomb.
Is there a way we can not let them know that we are there before?
Because we can't
No,
get them
they'll
to
be
stop.
too low for you to be able to reach them.
A bit too low. Okay.
But they won't know that you're there. They'll just know that the boat exists.
Yeah.
They won't expect
Yeah.
someone with
You.
gills.
The fishman could never have assumed that his enemy would
Yes.
learn the tactics.
Hey, is there any way you can tell us how many people would typically be on this type of machine?
Well, so there's the 12 people in the cargo hold. There's the 12 prisoners. There's Greta, possibly some Greta followers, but probably not. They probably
There's
would have
nothing
killed
to
everyone
indicate
else.
that. Nothing to indicate that her followers made it on.
And we could assume General Odd, possibly Claudia is his number one. Probably at least 2 people in the munitions area. It can't take a whole lot. This is a elementary craft.
I'm actively looking up early U-boat designs real fast to figure out their rough crew complement.
I wouldn't think more than 10 in crew. And 2 of those would be Odd and Claudia. Most likely.
So, normal naval rules, knowing the dimensions and size of this ship, normal naval would imply there are probably 2 to 3 officers and probably about 15 total crew, maybe 15
Probably less because we have
because
a
there's
lot
so many.
of
Yeah.
prisoners.
Actually, I'd say 15 actually might be too much because it does run on magic, so there's less. I would say probably 3 officers and 7 magical engineers to run it. They're probably not looking for a fight, so like 7 magical engineers and like a couple soldiers to man the rocket tubes.
Which is where I'm going.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Well, Grant is ready.
Grant is ready. Cat is ready.
Grant understands the POA. So
I'm ready.
I
Lyra?
I'm gonna let the dog outside. Sorry, he was
this
barking.
is a leap of faith.
Are you
Silent.
muted?
Oh. I'm letting the dog back outside. He was barking very loudly, hence why I
Okay,
brought him in
I see.
here
Oh, okay.
to begin with. 'Cause
Um,
he was nervous outside. I
Oh,
hate to say
poor
it all.
baby.
Yeah.
so
It's all those chupacabras. Very real concern.
are you still dropping me off early? Ace?
We can, but I don't believe we have to. We could drop you. You could leave when they surface, and then you would have a better plan. You could just jump off from the front of the boat, and then be in front of them.
The depth charges. What type of?
Kaylin brought back
I
gunpowder, so we should be able to be pretty exact, and it would not. We'd be able to avoid doing damage to you.
Is there a way I could bring a gallon of gunpowder?
Deacon's desperate desire to blow himself up.
For this kamikaze action.
Yeah, I guess I would have to kamikaze myself.
Yeah.
Okay. Fuck. I'm trying to think of like different solutions. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready with what we have, but if anyone has a different idea, I would love to hear them.
So
we can support you actively while it happens, and I don't think we have any other ideas.
My plan to grow gills was not one that I thought I'd just have to share alone. But
nobody else can do it.
I thought somebody would be at least with me on the boat while I am there.
I thought I'd have a
Kaylin
gill buddy.
Kaylin will be there shortly.
Yeah, you just have to disable the weapons so I can get on.
Okay.
They can't fight me if the weapons are down.
Yeah, she can help you take the rest of the boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have faith. This will work. In Thurcia.
The animals want it. I think it'll work out.
It doesn't matter what the animals want.
Usually they're pretty right.
They're pretty motivated. that helps.
They've only gotten more passionate.
I agree.
So as you are having this argument, little girl just turns around, and as she does, the thin line of the magical sonar that Aes had set up engages. A presence has been detected underwater. So the way this is going to work is there needs to be either you can just start dropping depth charges and you get no advantage to hit, or you can try to make a sonar roll to pinpoint exactly where they are. You could do that first, but if it fails, you will trigger a malice to your next attack roll, and you can recalibrate and do that again.
So it would be sonar is a modifier.
It's either you take a plus, you succeed sonar plus 10, fail sonar minus 5, or and to your attack roll.
Yeah, I think sonar is a good idea. You two agree?
Okay.
Oh.
All right, and I was rolling against the boat.
You're rolling on the boat, yeah.
Rolling on the boat.
40.
Do you have anything to keep?
No.
Can I use my navigation?
Other people can contribute specialties in this case because it's a shared attribute.
Oh wait.
No, you want to.
No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted this.
42?
With counters, that works.
Okay.
Okay.
With counters, 42 hits. The whole boat just kind of like shudders, glows blue, and then just lets out a boop.
Okay.
And as you do, the red line that you drew around like the rails of the ship, one starts blinking, like a little off to like 300 degrees off of your bow,
Okay. So now it's rolling to hit.
Yes. So you start sailing. You start sailing around it. If anybody can roll this, if Kat's not feeling lucky, Lyra
If
or
somebody else would like to.
Grant could make that roll if they want, but
That'll
47
work with counters.
with your counters.
With
So-
a plus 10.
Yeah.
That's true, with a plus 10 even. Don't forget to evaluate counters as normal.
Oh yes, I have to add more now. Yes.
So so Kaylin, you're standing by with these depth charges that look like these little, like, thin, tiny kegs, basically, and you're throwing them over, and you throw one over, so you're down to 9
Throw 3.
gunpowder.
Oh, sorry, 10.
9 gunpowder
9.
kegs. It falls. Nothing really happens. All of a sudden, you see, like, the water bulge a little bit. And there's a sort of dark shape under the water as the ship starts to, like, come overtake it.
No. Deacon, go.
Yeah, I'll jump off the front of the ship.
Okay, so I need a source roll from you. Are you gilling before you get in the water?
I will gill right after I hit in the water, like a couple seconds,
So
to just see what the
give me a dexterity
see what the ship is doing first.
dexterity check first, then.
With
How many
counters?
do you have?
No. Yeah, no, that's a 45 with the counters. I can. Yeah, I can't kick it with anything, I don't think.
So you're going to jump off the stern of the boat, and as you leap off, you are going to take 1d4. You're going to take 4 blunt damage. You could soak that if you so desire.
Yeah, I'll soak it. Can I choose where it goes?
It doesn't matter if you soak
it.
it.
You don't get hit.
If you just take health.
Oh no, I'll okay, then I'll soak 2 of it.
2 of it.
And then yeah, where does it go?
The rest will go to, I'm gonna say, your legs. We love hunting Deacon's legs.
Yum.
What does the 2 condition do? Anything?
I have to pull up my conditions list because I'm slacking. Sorry, I should have had this up, and I don't know why I didn't.
You have to get truffles. You have to have your
I know.
conditions list up.
Deacon just like,
Make you a
I don't
list.
know.
So you hit, and in this case, it has no immediate effect.
Okay.
But you do have, just note that you have a condition 2, so that if you get another 2 blunt on your legs, it will tick up to a 3.
Yep.
So yeah, you hit the ground, you hit the water, the sort of compression and the pressure, you realize water is dense. So give me a source roll.
Can I see what the ship is doing right now first? Can I try to get an awareness of the situation before?
It is.
Can you describe it to me
so
at all?
dark. You are in a void of nothingness. You are sitting in.
What time is it in the day?
It's approaching sunset.
Yeah, okay, so I'm going to try to see as much as I can before it's sunset.
Roll a per check then.
That's a lucky no, right? Fuck, no, it's not. God fucking damn it.
You
Okay, yeah, no,
you
that's
really
bad.
don't have any intel. All you know is that you're in the dark right now.
Okay.
Um.
All right, I'll roll the source.
Okay.
That is a lucky number.
91.
91.
Nice.
Okay.
That time I roll a fucking lucky number.
It's also my lucky.
Really? Okay, cool.
Okay, so in that case, you only receive your counters in terms of energy. Because
Okay.
since it's a source, since it's a lucky over, it would be counted as a 0. So you get whatever
I
your
thought it counted as a 1. Is that wrong?
No, it's Moss of 0. It's considered a success, but it's immediately beaten by anything else. If I'm wrong, call me out in the chat. But I
think we've operated it as a 1, but that may be incorrect.
Okay. Now a form roll.
Now a form roll. Remember, you get plus 20 on that.
Yep. Oh, that's amazing. That is going to be against my knowledge, which is, that's a 44 plus 20, so that's 64. That's a moss of, like 52.
Oh, dang. Okay. 1 second. Which means
15 counters.
A failed roll, a failed double roll is considered a success at 0 moss, according to the rule book.
Okay. So, yeah, moss of like 56.
Okay.
For the form roll.
So, you have a choice. You can set in studying this, you've also studied how fish see in the dark. And you can orient, since you were so successful with your form roll, but you scored what? What was your counters?
I mean, with my counters of my source roll,
yeah,
it was, and it's a 0, 12.
12. So you have a choice. You can either give yourself.
I didn't spend all of my energy, right, in that source roll.
No, this is what I'm going to offer you. You keep counters, no issue. That's fine.
Okay.
You can either give yourself a limited number of attempts, but have full perception in the dark. Or you can do this blind and have your gills never wear off. So if you have to like hop back in the water, you have water breathing. Or you can have your gills up until you go to air, basically. Or if you fail enough times, eventually your gills would shut down. So what do you want? Do you want the perception, or do you want...
The perception bonus would be I don't have to roll for perception checks anymore?
Correct. You would see where you are, and you'd be able to see where you are.
I will take that one.
Okay.
I will take that one.
Using it, you shape... Actually, you like... Because it's you claw at your neck and tear open little furrows in that eventually get like sort of like clay formed and shaped into more traditional gills, and at the same time you like press on your eyes, like applying pressure, sort of widening your irises to let more light in, as well as covering over your eyes in like a film, and you now are able to see. You're now able to see, and you see the sub coming at you. I need a dex check right now.
Okay. Okay.
That's my lucky number.
Okay. I imagine I was praying in this moment that I'd be okay. Can I kick it with prayer?
No. Instead, what I need you to do is, I'm gonna roll a D.
The boat is coming at me.
The ship is
from below.
No, like it is moving in an arc.
Oh, because I was in front of them, so
yes.
I'm looking back and it's coming this way. Shit. Okay, what happens?
So, I'm trying to think of how I would. So you are about. So you have a choice. Yet again, either you can bet that you have the endurance to swim after this thing, and you could chase after it, or you have actually.
How?
No, I changed my mind. You failed the roll. I don't give you a choice. You don't get a choice here.
Wait.
You failed.
Wait. I have a question. How much would it be if I were to try to let him be hit, but kind of try to shake off some of the fall with the hit, but try to grab on to the
So-
so let the hit happen, but try to hold on to a piece of the submarine.
So that's what I decided. So I was gonna give you a choice of either you dodge and chase after it, but no. In this case, what is going to happen is you are going to be hit no matter what.
Okay.
You are either going to be hit, you are going to be hit. We are going to calculate your ability to stay on, and then we are going to do the effect of you trying to stay on.
Okay. So damage first?
No, we are going, because it could be more if you succeed.
Okay. So you want my ability to stay on roll first.
Yes. And do you have unstoppable willpower as an event? I don't remember.
No.
Okay, then. You are going to roll. You are going to roll endurance for me, then.
Okay. That's a moss of a lot. That is a moss of 27.
27. Okay. So the good news is, you don't take a D12 damage.
Okay. Okay. Great.
You're only taking 3 blunt damage
Okay.
from this. And to describe what has just occurred, the sub comes at you, crashes, you sort of like crash into one of its fins, bounce, roll, and then grab onto the back. And thankfully you don't face secondary, what you just rolled to do is not face secondary damage from also arresting your momentum and suddenly being taken with the speed of the sub.
Okay. Great.
I'm so sorry. I have to take a quick pause and help with a small thing. Help somebody with a small thing on my phone. And then I will go...
yes.
Then we can resume this. I'm so sorry. So returning now from our break, a little breaky break. Deacon, yes, you are actively being pulled by a... You are actively being pulled by the thing, but because you have sight, because you gave yourself fish sight, you are able to see the doors. So I'm going to need an endurance roll.
Before that, can I tell the direction that this boat is trying to go in? Is it trying to go deeper into the water?
No, it is going up. It is.
Okay, because of the thing.
It's trying to surface.
Okay. So an endurance roll, you said, to stay on.
To get yourself over to that door.
An endurance roll. Okay. That's horrible.
Deacon needs new dice.
Yeah, for real.
Is there a way I can command myself to stay on? Or to do it right?
It's not that you're staying on, it's that you're moving closer. So every time you fail, the closer this sub gets to attacking the boat. And so in this case, it now has reached periscope depth, and it is now traveling forward. So you have failed to get in, and so now it is sighted.
There's no way I can't kick... Well, okay, so there's no way I can kick that roll with something. With command.
I don't think you could do command, no.
All right, so what happens with the periscope?
So it's pulled up its periscope, and it's now sighting. It's
sighted on the boat.
Yeah, it's identified the boat, and it's taken off.
Okay.
So give me an endurance roll. Same deal. Endurance roll again.
Okay. That is a success. What's that's 50?
Oh, and did you deduct counters for that 67? By the way.
I have to deduct counters?
Well, because you got more than 10 moff, so you lose your attribute bonus in counters.
So I haven't been doing that. I hate that rule, by the way.
You're welcome.
Just so you know, I despise it.
Balance.
Well, it's not balance. It just fucking sucks, and it hurts my soul.
Imagine
okay,
if you had something
so-
physically being removed from you. That would be even worse.
Okay, so that minuses the amount of my. It doesn't minus 1.
No, it minuses your
my
bonus.
modifier.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm still at 15. Okay, so 15 plus that's 50. That's a moss of 3.
Okay, so you get. You're able to get to the thing now, and in the same instance, I need a might roll, please.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good.
Ooh, with a
Yeah, that's
2.
really good.
Nice. And so you were able to, so on the back of this sub, and it's this sort of like black long tube made of these heavy wood banded in these iron and steel clasps or bands. It's almost like somebody has made effectively a barrel with a water jet at the back is sort of the design behind this, and in it has little doors that open, and you with that too are able to pull the door just enough that you can slip through in like a torrent of water, and you splash down onto the bottom, and you find yourself in a cramped room filled that basically 2 Kokutans or 1 Kokutan could walk abreast in this room, and that's it. And wall to wall, it is filled with rockets, little thin metal tubes, wall to wall with all of them, and standing probably about an arm and a half away from you is a deep folk.
Oh.
Okay. There's water still rushing in,
No,
or would I have enough strength to close it behind me?
It closed on you, basically.
Okay, great.
There's
great.
a world
okay,
where
I
you
understand.
there's a
I
world where you
understand
gotta
how water works and pressure. Okay.
You could have gotten a loss of 0, and I would have maybe broken your hand. But anyway, carry on.
I will
Punch that fish.
look.
Punch that fish.
Punch that fish.
I will look at him, holding my weapon, and say, "I am not here to kill you, but I will if I have to. Your life can be spared, but you need to let me go."
I need you to make a connection check.
So that's 51. That's a moss of 9.
It's a moss of 9. All right. He looks at you. And flashes you this like hand signal that doesn't look right in his claws.
Understood.
Brother in the Resistance.
I'll give him a nod. Would you rather act now or maintain your mask you wear?
What do you require?
Turn off all munitions. We are only here for the Floranians. Extract and leave.
He very numbly, very sort of mindlessly starts like plucking fuses out of rockets. Offering out one hand, Cineric.
Deacon Edicus, Archspiritus of the Elpna.
And
What can I do to help?
you and him start just start pulling. It'll take him too long to put the fuses back in. So he just starts ripping out fuses with you. As this mindless drone starts pulling fuses as he goes. And the two of you take a couple minutes to work, and then you realize your ears pop. As the sub rises up, the situation only evolves. So to my players, thank you for playing. To all you at home, thank you for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.